Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mixed Vodcast, episode 9. Episode 9. I put episode 8, but it's episode 9. I've totally put the wrong episode number in, but that's all good. Hello, Seskimo. Hello, Drive, Multiverse. White Wolf, how we all doing tonight? I hope everyone is doing good. Unit's here as well. Mr. Frightful is here and mucking about with the pick and mix. All good. Oh, it's going to be a good one tonight. It's going to definitely be a good one tonight. This is the Vodcast where we're celebrating the great nation of England. No. This is the most Scottish of vodcasts ever. We're going full Scottish. You know, we're getting the tatty scones. We're getting, you know, the Lorne out. We're getting everything going tonight. Totally everything is going. Yeah. You know, it's full-on Scottish. It's a full-on Scottish one tonight. You'd see some scones. This is tatty scones. Tatty scones tonight. But yeah, and Stray's here. Hello, Stray. Oh, so guys, you know, to be perfectly honest, we're not going to beat about the bush at all. You know, we're going to get right into it with it tonight. Me and your other non-Scots will just buckle up and hope we can keep. Totally. You know, we have translation services available. Translation services will be available, you know, somewhere. I don't know where, but translation services will be available. You know, closed captions might be able to work. Who knows? Not really. But guys, okay, let us get straight into it. Let's introduce the amazing guest for tonight that can unmute their mic. She is the practitioner of the dark arts of crochet. She is totally full-on Scottish, even more Scottish than me. She is... We'll double check, she is unmuted. Yes, she is unmuted. She has, you know, the killer of Bruce the Shark. She is the one, the only Qukatt. Good evening.
Hi.
Hello. How are we all doing tonight?
I'm not the killer of Bruce the Shark. I have a special man who does that for me, and his name is Genix. I kill bears now.
You kill bears.
Yeah, I kill bears now. As of Tuesday, I kill bears.
Yeah, you kill bears.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, hi.
No, they finally found a purpose for Genix.
Yeah. The stream leech.
Oh. Yeah, so there's so much Scottishness on stream.
I know my light doesn't show it, but this is a tartan blanket.
It's a tartan blanket.
It's a tartan. I hung it up special just for this. Yeah. Yeah,
totally. We're going to go full Scottish, guys. We're just going to go at 100 miles an hour when we talk as well, so no one will know what we say at all.
Do you know what? I've practiced speaking properly for such a long time now. I'm not sure I can even do it anymore.
I know.
What would be perfect is if I was talking to Mr. Frightful, I'd slide right back in.
Aye. Oh, totally. Mr. You know, get Mr. Frightful on. You know, get that. You know, get the accent going as well.
Oh my goodness.
You know, no one know what you were saying.
Full Gaelic.
Oh.
Not that I speak a lot of Gaelic.
I know it's that thing though, like being on Twitch, you know, that we tend to slow ourselves down.
Oh, just being in Edinburgh, I tend to slow myself down. goodness. And before that, I was in Australia for 2 years. So, and I brought home a husband. I have to speak slowly for him. You know,
Oh,
there was years where I had to order it the chippy because he was too scared to do that. He couldn't understand what they were asking him, and that was Livingston. You know,
oh, well, yeah. Oh well. Well, that technically Livingston.
and
It's
it wasn't even up the road. So,
but Livingston's a bit more rougher. You know.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
if you say so.
Well, it depends which part of Livingston it was.
Well, well, we were in Dean's, which I heard is pretty bad, but I don't know.
It depends which part of Dean's it was.
Eh, no, it wasn't Dean's South.
Aye.
They were knocking that down. So,
Oh, aye. Well, they're still trying to knock it down.
yeah, they were panning it in, as they say.
Aye, the folk that are living there are still refusing to leave. So
Yeah, I'm friends with one of them. She's actually left, but still maintains the house. So
aye,
just to be a dick about it, I think. I don't know. I would too, but yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it's this is Scottish Twitch for you guys. Scottish Twitch.
This is no Scottish Twitch yet.
Welcome.
We need more tenants. That's
Oh yeah, we need more tenants. Yeah. So what are you drinking tonight?
tea. I've got chai tea in my crochet cup, which my friend got me. It says hooked on crochet.
Very nice. Tea nunts.
Yep.
That's what you've got at Countess Eskimo. Yeah, I'm on the orange juice.
Is that the special orange juice, or is it orange juice?
It's just orange juice. It's not the sneak. It's not the sneak.
Well, they're going to pull their funding now.
Oh, no, they're not even funding me. I'm not sponsored.
To get on it.
Not spawn.
I feel like the first thing I should talk about is the fact that I can't make hats.
You can't make hats.
I can't make hats. Well, I can make a hat, but they're never hat sized.
So tell me, right? Actually, the first thing we need to know is,
Oh yeah.
who are you? Tell chat, who are you?
Hi, I'm Qukatt, and I've been sober for 8 hours.
My God, 8 hours. That's a lifetime.
First day back at work today in a month, so day shift anyway. So I had to deal with people.
Oh no, people.
Yeah. Because unlike some of your other guests, I don't work in my craft, so
Yep. Yeah.
I have a 9-5. Well,
Yeah.
sort of a 9-5.
And you deal with proper people as well.
Oh, I deal with doctors, and nurses, and that's just. But let's not speak about that.
Yeah, but we'll first of all, we'll give you the round of applause because you deserve the applause.
No.
For working in the medical field.
Yes, it's joyful.
Yeah.
No, I've been crafting for 11 years. Not that. I would it seems like a long time, but at the same time I don't feel like it's been that long. You know? It's just one of those things. I did it after having my eldest, so just something to do, which is ridiculous. I could have chosen a way cheaper hobby. I was already a gamer. I could have just stuck to that.
But where's the fun in that?
I know. Well, you don't. I tell you what, you don't get half as much time to game with a wee one who wants to game.
Exactly.
Like, you end up doing that thing where you give them an unplugged controller and here you go. Yeah, you can. Here. Good job. Those monsters.
Aye, Wayne's take up all your time.
They do. Even now. Even at nearly 12 years old, he's still a pain in the arse.
Right. Right.
But at least I can send him to his room now and be like, yeah, go.
Oh, I've got the wrong one up. Let me get
Oh.
the right one up.
No, this.
Where's the right one? Oh, there it's there. Aha, there we go. I know the right thing. There we go. Aha, that's it there. There we are. Yeah, so you sent me some pictures.
Yes, I did.
And if I got the right one, it does help. Find the right one. Too many windows open. So, according to this was some of the first things that you'd made.
Hold on. Let me just reach over.
This is find the right thing.
Oh yeah. This is the first thing I made. Talking about giant hats. No. So the reason I got into it was when I was pregnant with Greg. My sister-in-law, her granny made me a beautiful granny blanket for him. All the colors, a ribbon around the outside. It was gorgeous. It's still gorgeous. And when she got pregnant, that woman had died, and I felt so bad that I had got this blanket, and she wasn't going to get one. So I was like, I'm darn well going to make her a blanket. And this is when I discovered there's a difference between UK and US pattern stitches.
All right.
So what happened there was, and this was the only color of wool I had. So I started this blanket, and it was going to be a circle and a swirl. It was going to be lovely, and all the stitches were too long. All the stitches, it just fucking bunched up too quickly and turned it. And I was like, surely when I iron it, it'll be fine. And then I don't know why I let it go for as long as I did before I gave up. But I ended up making an entirely separate blanket, which I did not take a picture of. But I was like, Mom, why is this not working? And she's a knitter, so she was like, I ended up making it into a bag, like a.
Oh well, yeah.
Like a grocery bag.
So, yeah, definitely would work as a grocery bag.
Yeah, I ended up going along the top of it and then making some handles. So I saved it. I never used it, but I saved it.
It's being resourceful. It's like I made a mistake. I totally didn't make a mistake at all.
No, it was a design.
Totally.
It was supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that color's so bad too. Why did I take that color?
Yeah, it was probably that one of those years where that color was like the rage.
No, you know what it was is when I was coming home from Australia. So it took Max like 6 months to get over from or 5-6 months to get over from when I came home, because he had to wait for his visa and stuff.
Oh, aye.
And we had to ship everything over on the boat, which took forever. And so that cost money. The visa cost money. We had to pay for a visa to be allowed to get married. We had to pay for then him to be allowed to work, and then to allowed to stay, and to pay for the wedding as well. So we got married in a registry office for like 200 quid with nobody there. So
doing it the proper way. Aye. I
had no money, and so that yarn was leftover yarn from something my mum had made.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, free yarn, because I don't even know at this point if I want to get into it, so there's no point buying any. There's no point wasting good yarn on something I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make. So yeah. So she probably made a beautiful jumper from that color, more than likely, because she does cable knit, like the really old school Fisher farmer full-on jumpers. My
Aye.
God. In no time at all. It's
Aye.
magic.
a
She
bit like
does
my
the
mother.
real black magic.
Aye.
I crochet, which is like the cheater's knitting.
Hey, it's both black magic to me.
You
You
wave
take a stick,
and
it just-
mutter things.
It just appears.
Suddenly there's a thing. Yeah.
So all I know. It's all I know about it. You know, you've learned the spells.
Mostly, yeah. I think I've learned enough spells
Yeah.
to pass.
Yeah. So from doing this, I assume you caught the bug.
Well, obviously, since that did not work, I had to start again, and I used much nicer yarn. I used a cream. I used a baby blue. It came out flat. It still had that swirl pattern. Somehow, I decided I didn't like the circle, and I looked up how to make corners onto the circle afterwards in a different color. And it's. I think if I looked at it now, I'd cry and rip it up. I'd be like, no, I have to do this again.
But that's the thing though, is when you look back on some of your first work, you're like, my God, why did I do that? How did I do that?
This is the reason I only make things to leave the house. I don't make things for myself yet. Because every time I look at things, I'm like, oh God, why would I do that? But I'm sure like artists can relate to that. They look back at work and they're like, oh God, it's horrible.
But does that push you on to do better though?
Oh yeah. Like there's always things, and you learn new tricks, and like a lot of patterns, they're like, make a chain, which is just your line, and then you put everything on top of that chain. But I've found someone who's like, you can do a foundation chain, which isn't a chain at all, because in some work, if you want stretch everywhere, the chain doesn't stretch as much as the rest of it, and you end up with like a weird odd bit at the bottom of your work. And the foundation chain doesn't do that. And I was like, ooh! For a little bit extra work, I can make it cool and neat.
This is next level black magic.
Oh yeah,
it's expert level.
I'm always learning stuff. There's some things I've learned which I threw across the room and I'll never touch again. Yeah. Yeah.
So examples of something like that.
Feeling some horror now.
No, feeling some horror. Why? What?
I tried to do a bookmark once, and
Right.
it was a Victorian pattern, and it had this thing called bullion stitch.
All right.
And yeah, I put that after about it had 28 around it, and after 3, I was in tears, like I fucking hate this. And I put it down, and I never picked it up again. So if you're ever getting into crochet, just run a mile from anything that says it's bullion stitch. It's horrible. You have to wrap. It's like awful. You have to wrap it round. Like mine had 15 wraps around the hook, and then you pull it through all of them. It's impossible. I do not know how you do it. Someone's told me how you do it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I'm never going to do it.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, the word bullion just automatically fills me with fear. Anyway, because that's a computing term as well that makes you go, nah, I'm good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
And a maths term, and
You're like,
I'm cool with that. Yeah, that's advanced stuff.
Go, run away.
Exactly. It's all these weird functions. We're not dealing with that. That's it's advanced stuff. Just give me a plus sign, I'll be fine.
Yeah, like puff stitch. That'll be a fine replacement. Let's go.
A puff stitch.
A puff stitch. Yeah.
What's a puff stitch?
It just makes a puffy bit. You just do a bunch of stitches all at once, and you kind of pull it up so it's the right height, and it just makes a little puffy ball.
All right.
Yeah. I don't. I might have an example in my box of shame. I don't
Mm.
know.
Your box of shame.
Unlikely.
Yeah, we'll get onto your box of shame in a little while. Don't worry.
Yeah. Near the end when
Oh.
we're struggling.
No, we're not going to be struggling. We've got loads to talk about. So much to talk about.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Because, we've only just started scratching the surface.
Mm.
Because, we talked about how you started in crochet and fibre arts. So was it crochet that you started with? Was it?
Yeah. My mum tried to teach me how to knit loads of times, but she's left-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not left-handed, and yeah, I hate knitting. It takes hours just for me. Like, she pestered me to do it last year at some point, and it took an hour to knit this little square, and I was so upset with it. I could have crocheted it in 5 minutes. I'm just like, this sucks, and I feel like I'm like all elbows and like a drunk octopus. I feel like I'm going to brain myself with a needle. It's no use, man.
Oh, it's one of those things though. You hear that from a lot of people that do like crochet or knitting. Try to change from one to the other. Not everyone can do that. Make the crossover.
Yeah. I know. I know a lot of knitters who picked up crochet because crochet is a great way of finishing projects that you've knitted. They make fantastic borders. It's so much easier to make a border with crochet than it is with knitting, because crochet shapes they make more sense structurally than knitting, because with knitting it's all about how big your holes are and stuff. I don't know. Knitting's a foreign language, but from what I understand, it's about how big you make a hole at any particular point. And whereas if you crochet, you can put elephants around a blanket. Can't do that with knitting. Ha! Suck it, knitters.
Okay, we're not starting a war here. No war starting on here.
I love knitters. They do a thing I can't do, so I love them.
We have a question. We have a question from Seskimo. Qukatt, as an artiste, what is your favourite kind of crochet project? Amigurumi, granny squares, etc. I can't say the word. Amigurumi, that's the word. I know. I can't speak. We've realised this already.
It doesn't help that she spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
I do doilies. Doilies are my ultimate favourite.
Doilies.
I love a doily. They're interesting. I love an interesting.
Let's find some doilies. There we go.
Oh yeah, there's doilies.
There's some doilies. Look at them.
My headphones are falling off with my
hat.
No. Those. I love those doilies. Which one did I make first? I made the big one first, the big picture one. It was a. So I wasn't gonna make it in that thread. That thread gives me it's really nice thread, and I think it works for the big long one, but that one, that big one, it just doesn't work for it. But anyway, my dad chose that thread because he wanted those two doilies made. He has a really nice sort of bureau, and my stepmother did it all with like the Mod Podge background, and she painted it like a lilac color, so it worked. They look fantastic on there.
Oh yeah.
But I would have just, if left to my own devices, I would have gone that classic cream color that you get for your vintage doily look. But
we'll like those ones.
That first one I did was a pattern. Like the wee ones. But the first one I did was the tulips. It was supposed to be tulips. I don't think they look like tulips. Ivory, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it the tulips, and then I did the big long one, which is, I think it's called the Coffee Doily or something on Ravelry. And they're so much fun to make that I made that silver one Not that silver one, but the last silver one. Yeah. Oh man, I hated that other silver thread though, and I made one in this gold because that silver thread,
That
it's
one
like
there.
yeah, it's like slidey.
Oh no.
It's
Yeah,
like
that would be awkward.
was it mercerized cotton or something? And so none of the bits are right because it kept sliding around, so it doesn't sit right. But I gave that one to my aunt, um, because by the end of it, you get to an end of a project that you've spent months on and you can't look at it anymore.
Yep.
Because these aren't like a couple of day things. Like um, that first one took me ages while I learned how to count and.
Well, as in just starting from the beginning again of one.
Yeah,
To
well, yeah. If you ever come to my stream, my husband jokes that it's the counting stream, because you'll just hear me being like 2, 3, 4. I always tell like people are like, "Oh, I don't have the patience to crochet." You can learn to if you can count to 3, you can crochet. It's fine. I'm the count. So and it happens even when I'm on gaming streams. I'm counting. It's really embarrassing. Like I play Satisfactory on with Bracknell Exile. We play Raft now, but oh man, like placing things because you need to place factory things and you need to have your belts go in the right place, and all you can hear is us both counting and working out ratios and math stream, inadvertent math stream.
Yeah, your husband, possibly Max, has just popped into the
Possibly
chat.
Max. Yeah.
Has said doesn't even matter where she's streaming.
Yeah.
On Raft, she's counting things too.
It's so true. I'm always counting. I don't know. It's I don't know what's wrong with me.
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with maths.
I'm just Rain Man stream. Except I have to count out loud because I'm not that smart. Yeah, if you that silver doily there is called the Angel's Garden doily because the middle's supposed to look like angels. So like those points are supposed to be the body, and then they had little heads and like little wings. But they don't because they slide around. It's awful, and I couldn't. And the thread was just horrendous.
You can kind of see it. I can kind of get it.
So if you flick onto the second set you had, I think there was a white one. Yes. So this big white one is actually
right or this one.
The big white one with the hands in the picture.
Yeah. Oh, this one here, yeah.
Yeah. So that one is the same pattern, but in yarn, because I wasn't so happy with the silver. So I was like, I don't want to do it in thread again, just in case. So I did it in yarn, and it turned into this really beautiful, like pram-sized blanket, as you can tell by the little hands being like, ooh. So that sort of became my new obsession, is making doily patterns but blanket size, because they look fantastic.
Oh yeah,
and no one wants doilies.
Aye.
Y'all are crazy. Doilies are awesome. Everyone should have a doily. They're amazing.
I have to say, it is absolutely beautiful. Like when you sent these pictures through, I'm like, oh my god, these are amazing.
I have that silver one. So that silver one I started last year, and I was finishing it on stream. That was when I started doing crochet streams. Was finishing that doily off.
So how long did that one take?
3 months. That silver one, yeah. I went really quickly, but that's only because of lockdown. I really like those little ones though. That was a commission. She was like somewhere, I think it was in Louisiana, and she wanted something that would look nice on a sort of porch, drinking your iced tea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she wanted it vintage, but she didn't want it all the way vintage. And I had loads of that thread. I still have loads of that thread left over. So I thought I'll just put the color in it, and I think it turned out amazing. So there's one big one for your jug, and then 4 small ones for your coasters.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like how you've got that, kind of vintage, but with that pop of colour.
yeah,
Yeah, just to
yeah.
bring it
Just
in
a
a
wee
bit more
modern
modern.
twist. Yeah,
Yeah, but
um, but
the
yeah.
blanket size ones are great. And Cisco's came up
Oh,
with a name for you. I've
oh
called them
really?
boilies,
Boilies.
blanket doilies. See, there's some branding going.
Make me some branding, Cess. We'll do this. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that silver one's on my mantelpiece right now.
Uh,
It's actually it's got 2 different types of technique in there. So it's got all of the classic doily stuff, but in the sort of diamond bits, it's like filet crochet. So you make a grid, like it's never square, but it's for all intents and purposes it's square, and then you just fill in the squares where you want the design to be. So you end up with like a picture because it's got the solid bits of the picture, and then the rest is just like your empty grid. So they're daffodils.
mm,
I mean, I'd run and get it, but that would be a bit rude. I should have thought about that to begin with.
oh no,
Maybe possibly Max can possibly grab it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. He'll grumble about coming all the way downstairs again.
That's what husbands are for.
Yeah. Be more organized, women.
Yeah. So you were saying that was the thing that you were working on when you first started streaming.
Yeah, yeah.
So how did you get into streaming? What made you go, oh, I'm going to start streaming?
So my eldest, for his birthday, asked for the microphone that I use, because he wanted to make YouTube videos and start streaming gaming. And because he was only 11, it was his 11th birthday, I was like, well, I'm going to go and check this out first. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to due diligence as parents. I'll do it, blah, blah, blah. So I played. So my birthday's the day after his. So on my birthday, we set all his stuff up and we played Minecraft. So I streamed Minecraft. The boys were playing Minecraft with me.
Yeah.
And that's just what I did for like a couple of days. I think it was 4 or 5 days, just Minecraft. And then I was like, oh, I could play 2 Point Hospital on this too. So I played that. Obviously, no viewers at all. And then I was like, I need to work on my doily. And we're like, oh, we've got a second camera. We've got an old dash cam, so we set that up, and yeah, that was it. And I'd already, like, after my Minecraft adventures, I'd gone on to Twitch to like look around, and that's where I like realized, oh, there's people like crocheting on here. That's amazing. Why does anyone watch this? No, who watches this stuff? And I was like, me, I watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So the first person I met on here was Crafts5DB, and it was her very first time crocheting. She's a knitter usually, and this other girl, soft goth love, had been like, you have to crochet, you have to try this out. So she'd done I'm going to learn to crochet stream, and I was like, I love teaching people how to crochet. I love this. I love talking about all that. So I was in there, and then it became a thing, and then that was it, and now I'm here, hooked, as you might say.
Hooked.
The hooker got hooked.
Yeah.
Darn it.
all the puns that go along with being
Yeah.
a crochet fiber artist,
Mhm.
being a hooker,
Yeah. Self-proclaimed. Yeah.
all the things.
You can find me on OnlyFans. Don't. It says hooker, but I don't believe
There
what
we
it
go.
says.
There was a requirement for a funny. I don't normally put the sound effects, but there was a requirement for a funny this time.
Oh, ba-doom-tsh.
There we go.
Or was it? Wah, wah, wah.
No, it was the badumjish. So it kind of, as I say, you got hooked onto, doing, the whole Twitch thing.
Yeah.
You kind of count yourself more as a variety streamer, though.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I never considered myself one thing over another. Like when I'm gaming, I'm a gaming streamer. And I never intended to be a crafting streamer, obviously. I never intended to be a streamer at all. I'm gonna have to buy my son a new microphone at this rate. He's never gonna get it.
I was going to say, has he ever had a chance to use it yet? Has he made any
has
YouTube
not,
videos?
No, because he's old enough. He's not allowed. He has to wait till he's 13. So, yeah, tough. I keep telling him though, if you practice your viola, we'll stream you practicing your viola.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he's not interested. It's mine now. Sorry.
It's totally just yours. You gained an extra birthday present and he lost one.
I mean, yeah, it's the one thing he asked for too.
Oh no, poor child.
I know. I'll get my own microphone when he's old enough. I promise. I'll save up my Twitch pennies.
Yeah, you gotta save up them Twitch pennies.
I know. Gee whiz. Who'd have thought it though? And now I got I'm so addicted to the edgy streamers as well now because lockdown. There's a lot of professors who look at Zoom and they're like, "Nah, I hate it," and they stream on Twitch. They stream their office hours. I've met people who are teaching chemistry. There's a great guy who teaches color theory in chemistry, and his PhD is all about colors to do with psychological and chemistry and biology and stuff. He's so cool. I wish I could remember his name right now. Oh yeah, Professor Young. He's fantastic.
Amazing.
Go and look him up. He's amazing.
But
totally different animal to what we've got going on, but
Yeah, but that is the amazing thing with Twitch. Isn't as always, it isn't just about gaming.
Mm-hmm.
As much as everyone keeps going, Twitch, it's a gaming site. It's like no, because there's so much more going on. Like we've got all the making and crafting and all the creative stuff going on, but there is the science and technology. There's the music. There's so much kind of crazy stuff happening. Like you're saying, you found someone talking about color theory.
I know. Oh, and if you like, as a yarny kind of person, like color theory is super important because I am shit at it. I look up people's projects and be like, I like those colors, and then I get exactly those colors, and I do that. Because when I try to put colors together, I end up with moss green bags. Oh man, my colors are terrible.
Yeah.
So, and if I you always have the back of your mind when you're into yarn, you're like, oh, I could start dyeing my own yarn. That would be cool. Don't do it. No, don't do it.
Is this a horror story?
I haven't done it yet.
Have you not done it yet?
I just know it's going to be everywhere. I know from dyeing my hair, color everywhere.
But think of the content for your Twitch stream.
I wouldn't be able to do it on Twitch though, because I'd have to be in my bathroom or out in the murder shed. With...
Wait a second, murder shed? Like, can we get an explanation of a murder shed, please?
Right. So we bought this house nearly 2 years ago, and the owners were a bit handy, a bit DIY. So there's a lot of things in this house that you're like, why is this a thing? But the most why is this a thing is the shed. So from what I can tell, they bought a shed, decided it wasn't big enough, totally sawed it in half, pulled it out, built their own doorway and walls. There's a window, a full length window, like floor to ceiling window that looks straight into the neighbor's yard. There's no fence between it. And there's no curtain or anything. So that
It's a bit creepy, yep.
that's a thing in itself. But also, this guy did not believe in, you know, when you put a nail through something and it goes all the way through, you kind of bend it or slice the end off. He did not believe in that. So all the felt and the boards from the roof, all the nails are far too long and they stick right into the top of the shed. So and it's quite a low shed. So when you walk in, you can brain yourself on screws and nails that are all just coming through. It's a horror show. I will take pictures. It's
We totally
horrible. I can't wait to pull that thing down.
we totally need pictures of this now. Because
We'd have pulled it down if there was a fence between us and the neighbours, but there isn't. and they've got a dog, so we don't want that. But yeah, it's ooh. Oh, I don't know why they did that. He was a nutter. Yeah,
it's amazing what you hear. You know. Yeah, with a window, you know, it's an Iron Maiden for an elephant with a window you can watch, according to Mr. Frightful. As you do. Yeah.
There's no words for that shed. Yeah. But anyway, my friend called it the murder shed when I showed her, and it's just kind of stuck. I just call it the murder shed now.
I think it's an
get a sign
name.
made.
Yeah.
When we get a new shed, it's still going to be the murder shed. We're going to dedicate it.
You'll just have one single nail just put.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just you have to take a nail just from the old one and stick it in.
Yeah.
Just because.
I'll get a sign made that says murder shed, and it'll have like a weird danger nail on it.
Aye. Oh, brilliant.
I think it would make most woodworkers absolutely cry.
Probably, but you know, it's, you know, they've also probably we've seen worse.
Maybe, but I have a hard time believing that.
Personally, it's wondering if it's haunted.
Most likely. Most likely. There's probably dead cats in there. It's got everything. It's got a wonderful big long worktop bench. It's got vices. He obviously had like proper band saws and stuff, but yeesh. It's not built to code.
Yeah. We'll go from murder sheds to
let's
eyeballs.
Go back to crochet.
Yeah, we'll go to eyeballs. There we go. We'll go to eyeballs because it's totally what we need to do.
I love these eyeballs so much.
These are amazing.
Yeah.
These are bags, right?
They are bags. They're drawstring bags, and the drawstring is the optic nerve. That's the gore that you can see hanging.
Perfect. Perfect way of doing a drawstring.
Right?
Yeah.
This version doesn't have all the bloodshot eye bits because I decided, because I was making quite a lot, that it was too much effort for what it added. But I did make one with the blood vessels.
Really?
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering, that part's called Catch His Eye. I think that's also on Ravel. I love Ravelry. Ravel's the place to be. So how to put this? There was a time in my life where I wrote for a gaming magazine, and
would you like to mention the gaming magazine?
It's defunct. It was called Gamer Source.
All right.
It's not up anymore. all the people went off to like actual gaming jobs.
All right.
So that was lovely. And I was like, I did go to an actual gaming job briefly, but working from home with 2 toddlers was not my thing. So it got to a point where I just couldn't keep up anymore. But anyway, part of that was they wanted me to get on Reddit to post things about it. And I was like, oh, I don't know, Reddit's a weird place. I ended up on Reddit. And then I found a crochet sub, and that was it. So I got addicted to that. And then I found a subreddit that was about trolling people's Amazon wish lists and buying them random shit off of it and having it sent to them anonymously. It's just random acts of Amazon. Fantastic. So it got to a point where I was like running contests and stupid games on that. And one of my Halloween contests, I made a bunch of these eyeballs, and that was the prize. And they were all stuffed full of candy because I love, more than anything, I love sending British sweets out to America. It's so much fun. I love sending people crunchies and double deckers and Lion bars and polos. Gee whiz. Yeah.
But we need to get onto that talk. We need to get onto the talk of, the crunchy.
Yeah. I love crunchy.
What is it about the crunchy that you like?
The middle.
Explain the crunchy for the non-American, for the non-British people.
I mean, if you know what cinder toffee is, it's you boil up sugar until it's molten sugar, and then you mix it. Is it vinegar and baking
powder,
soda?
yeah.
And it all goes into bubbles, and you let it set, and then you can crack it up, and that's cinder toffee. So a crunchy is basically a bar of cinder toffee covered in chocolate, and they're just so fucking good. I might actually have one in the cupboard. But again, not getting up because that would be rude. Plus, I'd have to rearrange everything on the sofa. Yeah. Man, crunchies are so good.
They are very good. They are very good. They're underrated. They are underrated.
Think so, yeah.
Unlike the double decker, which is disgusting.
Oh no, the double decker's so good. I don't want to, like. There's no words, man. How could you? How could you put the double decker down like that? What's it ever done to you?
I've tasted it.
No way, man. I can't even talk to you anymore. That's it. End of stream. Shut it down.
Shut it down totally. Well, we've got to explain the double decker. It's just weird.
It's magic.
It's just weird Crispies.
It's pure magic, then. No, it's
weird.
They're like Crispies and like nougat or something.
Yeah, but the nougat's weird. It's not proper nougat. It's not like an Arch bar.
It's like soft, gooey nougat. Oh man. Oh, now I want a double decker. See what you did to me.
I'm like, where's the dinky deckers?
Man?
Where's the dinky deckers gone? I've lost the dinky deckers.
You don't even like them.
Dinky deckers. There we go. Because that's why I've got them, because I don't like them.
Do you know what I don't?
Look, there we go. There.
You know what's always
this is a dinky. Here's the double decker. We'll show you what's inside.
Go and eat it. You have to eat it now. You've opened it.
No, it's going in the bucket. It's going in the bucket.
No, you can't put it in the bucket. Oh, it makes me sad. I'm gonna put a redeem on your thing somehow. I'm gonna sneak to your house and put a redeem on.
Sunshine the puppy is asking, how does one get a snack delivery like that? Asking for a friend. That friend is me.
Right. Well, you can ask me, or circling back to Reddit. There's a subreddit called Snack Exchange, and you can get whatever from wherever there, and that is another thing I got addicted to, sending sweets over to Japan to get Japanese sweets back, stuff like that. I've sent a lot of stuff to people like British people in other countries who just wanted some fucking bird's custard and Angel Delight, and they've sent me like their local sweets back, so that's always been so much fun. Yeah. I love that sub too. Man, I haven't done that in years though, because we're moving houses and stuff. It's no use to have things in the post going snail mail to you. But yeah. Oh. But do you know what actually? Magnus Logie and Chi-Chi sent me licorice from Denmark.
Ooh.
Oh my god. So good. Oh, I love licorice. It was amazing. And I keep saying I need to send some back. I've got a sweet package that I need to send over to Chaos Killer in America, and just lockdown. I can't get to any of the shops that I wanted to go to. You know, it's no use going to Tesco and just getting Tesco sweets. I need to get
You need to get the
nice,
proper stuff.
I need to get real fudge and real fucking tablet, and
Oh, aye.
none of this Mrs. Tilly's, even though that's really good.
Oh, anyway, yes. Aldi do some decent stuff.
Oh, I don't have an Aldi nearby.
Oh,
No Aldi.
oh.
So.
We're totally getting off topic from making stuff as
Yeah,
well.
I
We're,
know,
we're
making
talking about
sweet.
food.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
Back to the eyeballs.
The thing is, half your chat is about things like crunchies anyway. So
I know. I talk about food a lot.
Yeah.
And this is something that was the real problem when I started in Twitch. Was I talk about food because I love food. I love all food except several certain foods that
but
I noticed that someone wanted to ask.
Yeah,
about,
I was going to say that we won't mention the yellow
the
fruit.
bananas. Yeah, I hate bananas. Apparently I used to love bananas, but blah. Ugh, I can't even.
Yeah, that will kill you, so it's fine.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. I can't eat them to find out. But it's so weird. I can't even touch a banana. They just creep me out. It's awful. It's like touching a dead person. I can't do it.
Oh, but
Seskimo can eat my bananas.
you just send all bananas care of Seskimo.
Max can give my share of banana bread to Seskimo then, because they always leave banana. This is the thing that drives me mad in this house is they all like bananas and they'll buy bananas and then they'll leave the bananas and then they'll go all stinky and gross, and I'm like, oh, they're just sitting there, and I have to walk past them every day, and they're all brown, and he keeps going, yeah, I'll make it into banana bread. Yeah, I'll make it into banana. No, you're not. No, just if you're going to make it into banana bread, do it now before I chuck them out. If I, like, with tongs and gloves and beekeeping suit. I don't know.
Full on hazmat.
Yeah. Oh, just get rid of it. Ugh. Oh, there was a time the kids were little and I used to do this thing where I'd chop the bananas with a knife from a big long knife. I was like, oh no, and give them it because they could unwrap the little rings by themselves.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, here's your banana, and I think Lucas was 2 or something, and he's like mushing it in his hands and all down the oh no. Oh, even remembering it. Oh, I had to clean it off the radiator. It was so gross.
That's what you get for having kids, though. Again.
I know. But if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't have started crocheting. So.
Exactly.
Or gotten into streaming.
Yeah. So, it's all circular, having kids.
I know. Not polite streaming anyway.
Yeah. brought about the invention of Qukatt.
Yeah.
Talking about the name.
Oh, don't ask about the name.
We totally need to know about the name.
Do you know what? It's this. I used to go by this handle Keela, so QUILLA, back on free serve days.
Free serve.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
those were the days.
Yeah, right. Free serve worlds, the first 3D chat, and so that was my handle then. And it was actually my mum's, and I just took it over really quickly. And it was spelt like, like the end of tequila.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask her about that. I think it was to do with motorbikes at the time. The Aquila or something. I don't know. Anyway, I took over her name, and then there was a day where I couldn't get my name, and I was like, shit. But I'd always been Q, so it was like Q, and I was like, Q, I like cats. Fuck it, cat. Qukatt, done it. Like spelt proper cat, Qukatt. And then there was a day I couldn't get that, so I was like, fuck it, 2 T's and a K, fine, let's go. And it's that's and it'll stay that way until I can no longer
Get that? Aye.
no longer register that on a new place.
Where are you going to go for next?
Oh, oh, right. Oh, don't know. Back to Pinky, I don't know. Yeah, I stole a name. It was.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's my mum's. Anything that's my mum's is mine anyway. Genetics, tequila.
Oh, yeah, totally. You have to, if your mum's got tequila, you've got to take it, right?
Yeah, it's usually my Qukatt. Oh my god, look at that spelling.
Oh my god. Q-U-E.
Q. My problem with the word Q is I can't stop spelling it, so that could be a disaster. How do I spell that in Scots? Good. Cat. Maybe I'll just put it cat in Gaelic. I don't know. You'd have to ask Mr. Frightful what that is. Yeah, Qukatt. I did have that. That was very brief. I didn't like it. It was too long. It wasn't snappy.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, this is getting ridiculous.
It's getting a bit crazy in the chat there. It's getting slightly crazy.
I'm going to start looking.
Don't look anymore. Chat's going in their own little world there. But when you're talking about Scots, it's one of the favourite things I have on your channel is your Scots command.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from? What inspired you to do that? Explain it for everyone first. It's probably the best idea.
So I have a command that when you type Scots, it chooses a random Scots phrase from the list and just puts it out, and I have to say it. A lot of the time, if I'm gaming, I'll miss it. I won't see it, and if it keeps throwing up the same one, I'll stop saying it. Dripping like a knackered fridge. Oh, I love that one. And I'm always on the lookout for new ones because Scott's Twitter is a good mining for that one. So that came about because I was in another stream where they were trying to learn a language. I think it was Japanese, and she'd made the list, and you could like redeem a thing and it would pull out a random Japanese phrase. She'd say it and she'd have to say what the English was, and it was helping her just remember the phrases that she was trying to learn. And I thought, oh, that's great, but I don't speak another language. And I'm like, wait a minute, yes I do. So yeah, I was going to add it as a redeem, and I was like, nah, this is too fun to keep to points. I was going to record them all so I didn't have to keep saying them, but it's too much work. Audio recordings, no my thing. So, which is why I'm not in the music. Aside from the fact that I don't play any music whatsoever, no instruments. That's the reason I'm not in the music.
Totally. You don't play an instrument, but you don't record yourself. That's the reason.
No. Yeah, I hate this. I hate the way I sound. I don't listen to my VODs ever. I never watch them. There's a game I did called Gardens Between, and in it there was a puzzle that stumped me, and at one point I just solved it, and I don't know how I did it, and I'm like, oh, I should go and watch the VOD for that. I can't do it. I started it and I was like, nah, I hate listening to myself. I'll never watch this VOD. Oh, this is it.
What? Oh, you need to watch yourself back at some point.
Oof, I hate it.
You've got to get over that initial bit. So everyone has that though. That's the thing.
I know, but I spent a long time thinking my voice was really deep because it sounds really deep to me, and now I wonder if I've corrected myself so much that I've given myself this weird voice that I hear when I listen to my own voice. Maybe not. Maybe it's always that way.
Yeah, you've got a lovely voice though, and it's that fantastic. It's the fantastic Scottish voice. Like whenever I listen to myself, I'm like, oh my god, I do sound like my dad.
Yeah.
And that's the worst
thankfully I
part.
don't sound like my parents.
Because, like, I never think I sound like my dad until I listen to myself and I'm like, oh my God, I sound like my dad.
Well, thankfully, my dad is so thick in accent. Like, if you think mine's thick, his is an order of magnitude more than me. And my sister also. And she's like, a thing up there is we're very mumbly. So it took me a lot of effort to kind of, or not stop, but lessen the mumbling. But my mum's from Glasgow. And she
All right.
hates that. So which is another thing.
Alright.
She hates the accent up there. So she's always like, "You have to speak properly. You have to speak properly." And I'm like, "I'm speaking proper. What do you mean? What are you talking about, mum?
So well,
There's nothing wrong with my voice."
she comes from Glasgow. It's
I know you're from Glasgow. You're from like listen to yourself, then.
So that's the thing, though. It's like speaking proper is very subjective.
Oh yeah. I think I've never met I have, but I was 4 when she died, my gran. I think she might have been English.
Right.
And maybe she had that same problem. I don't know. I'll have to check that. It's one of those things I'm too old now to ask. I feel like I should have known that by now. She definitely lived in London for a while, but maybe that's where that's from, speaking proper.
Because like for me, like my mum's from Edinburgh, my dad's from the Borders, so I've got that mix. Yeah, so that's why everyone keeps calling me posh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've heard like my stepmom. She's from the Highlands and Skye area, and I thought she was English for ages because she speaks really posh. But that's just how they are.
Yeah. Why?
Where she is, it just sounds weirdly posh.
But
But it's just very pronounced, I think, because they have to bellow across the mountains. You have to shout at each other across the loch.
Yeah, so it needs to be pronunciated correctly because the wind just takes half of it away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be like one of my other friends is from Skye, and she went home a few years ago, went out walking and got stuck in a pothole in the field, and had to yell for help. I think she almost broke her ankle with it, but yeah, it's just stupid. Like, why are you out there? You're fucking kidding. What's wrong out there? You're gonna fall in a fairy hole. Bloody Qukatt cow. Yeah, frightful saying he learned English from the BBC. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, very true. Yeah, and learning from the BBC, of course you get very proper when you learn from the BBC.
I mean, even watching Supergran, you're like, whoa, that's very posh. Oh,
yeah,
it's a posh accent.
Yeah, so it's very posh for Glasgow.
Yeah, or is it Balamory? Balamory's real dead posh.
Aye, that's Balamory is.
Yeah.
Aye, probably the poshest part of Scotland. You're like, no, it's not a very posh area, really.
I'd love to go. I love all those colourful houses.
Oh, aye.
Yeah. I'd love a wee pink house.
They're bloody expensive though.
Yeah, I heard.
The price just went up and up and up.
You just live in the back of the island where no one sees you. Oh man. Anyway, this is not crafty.
We're just talking about Scotland here because we're allowed to. This is the Scotland talk now. Let's change the name. This isn't the Makers anymore. This is the Scotland. So we're going to go to the Morningside area of Glasgow. For anyone who doesn't know, Morningside's in Edinburgh, and it's the poshest part of Edinburgh.
Oh, those Scottish people, always joking. It's not filled with rum, you shush. I mean, it could be, but then I'd have to get up and that would be rude.
Sorry, Mr. Frightful. Mr. Frightful is getting a funny for that. He's getting a funny.
Absolutely.
There we go. Right, let's look at some things. Let's talk about some crafts.
So anyway,
let's
that was Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit. Totally Reddit.
Reddit's
Yeah,
fault.
Reddit. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go back and find all my Reddit games because some of those games will be perfect for streaming because they were good fun.
Totally.
Good. Instead of giveaways with raffles, I'm gonna start playing games. That's a new thing, everyone. We're getting rid of giveaways in terms of raffles and bullshit and channel points.
We're gonna do Reddit games.
Yeah.
That sounds like it. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Bring something new to Twitch.
Yeah, too right. I'm gonna have to go into a game show category. Good excuse to buy a shiny suit.
Do you not already own a shiny suit?
No, I own shiny dresses. I don't own a shiny suit.
Oh, so can't wait to see this shiny suit.
I'm gonna get the sequin blazer.
Ooh.
I've got plenty of gay friends who I'm sure could lend me one. more gay than me. Anyway, moving on. Look at what you could have won. We'll play The Price is Right with Seskimo's prices. We'll see what people think she should have priced it at. And here's her actual price.
Yeah. Yeah, the price you should be charging. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this hat.
Oh, this is fantastic. I love it. Yoda hat.
Yoda hat.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing I didn't use a pattern for.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I used a pattern for the base, and then and the forehead wrinkles, I think, was adapted from a Yoda hat pattern. But after that, I was kind of trying to be on my own, and that's why it looks so weird. But he's a bulgy creature anyway, right? So yeah, I did ears. I did ears, and I see that bloody moss yarn. That moss green yarn coming back to haunt me. I've still got some of that shit.
It's perfect color yarn for this.
Yeah, it came in a 400-gram ball, which is like those big ones that you see in the corner shop sometimes. Oh man, so much yarn. So yeah, you made the ears flat, you fold them, they came out really well. The eyes, the brow, ooh. And then I added hair to the back, and then I added hair inside the ears, which you can't really see there. But overall, I was like, oh, this is so neat. And then I eBayed it for $5. Someone bought it for $5. And I actually got a message from them several years later saying that it was still holding up well, and they were really, like, it was in a display cabinet, which I thought was insane. And they'd found a new love for crochet stuff, so they had a full display case of like Star Wars crochet things.
Amazing.
Based on buying my hat on eBay for $5.
So first of all, we'll shout at you for underpricing yourself.
Well, yeah, I put it up for the ye old 99 pence bid thing. It was like the first thing I sold as well to someone who wasn't my family.
But,
and that's my eldest there modeling it.
But,
gosh, how old is he there? Like 3 or 4.
A fair while ago now then.
Oh yeah.
But it's absolutely amazing, and the fact that it was a gateway for someone else to get into it. That is it's a testament to the kind of quality that you made there. Really.
Yeah. So even then, quality goods.
Total quality.
Technique,
props.
not so much quality. And I've learned how to sew much better since then. Oh man, that joining actually gives me pain right now.
But the
The
thing
hair's not so
is,
bad.
at the time, were you proud of it?
At the time, oh yeah, I was so
Well
proud of
then.
it. It was bigger than a normal hat should have been.
So, talking about hats,
Yeah,
you mentioned at the very beginning about
my
hats.
hat. I can't size hats. I don't know what it is. Every single time they come out far too big or far too small. Why? How? I do have a hat over my desk, a white one that I made that's lacy, and it fits me, but only because I made a baby-sized hat. I can't figure it out. It's not my hook. It's not my tension. It's me. Can I not count? Maybe my counting is bad. I haven't made a hat in a while, but I have my giant hat here.
Giant hat. Let's see the
my
giant hat.
my giant hat. See how big this is? Like, this is bigger than anyone's head. This is like. So this was for someone. He wanted a Pokemon hat. My friend Danny in Australia, and I've never sent it to him, obviously. And he said he had a big head, so I made a big hat. And then I put it on, and I was like, this is like a bin. I could store a baby in this. This is a baby bin.
Oh,
But
we've got a
it's,
raid coming in. We've got a raid. Pixie is raiding us. Thank you for that raid.
Just in time for Qukatt can't make hats.
Welcome. Let's fire off some bits.
Oh, hey,
Drop
there's
some
Anna.
loots. Fire off the bits. Hey.
Anna's someone I've just started watching. You should shout her out. I can make you a hat, marked, but it's going to be massive. It's going to be so big. Like these headphones are huge, and the only reason you can't see them is because my hair is bigger. And this goes perfect over my headphones.
And welcome in, everybody. We are currently chatting with Qukatt, learning all about how amazing she is at the black arts of crochet.
Unless it's hats.
Unless it's hats, where she makes giant hats.
Hats for giants. But anyway, this is my Victory Bell hat.
Victory Bell, yes.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
friend-
amazing still, though. You know,
My friend Danny's never getting it. Yeah, this is a
technically-
hat. This is a hat you could wear over your motorbike helmet. That could be a thing, actually. Yeah.
See, like your cornering markets here. Cornering markets.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hats for the children of unfortunate mothers, or the unfortunate children of mothers.
No. Oh, Mr. Faithful.
Wop wop wop.
Oh, it's just wrong. It's wrong. So you've still not figured out why you can't make a hat the right size.
I honestly don't know. I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, because you know how to count. You've proven this on stream.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm doing a math degree.
I was going to say you are doing a degree that requires a lot of maths. You know, and not just your standard maths. You know,
Yeah.
like actual proper maths.
Scary
That
math.
you know, the word bullying probably do come up at some point.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but yeah. I'm doing linear algebra at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of crazy stuff. But so you kind of know how to do math.
Kinda, just a wee bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and we'll blame the patterns. That's what we do. Still the
I've
patterns.
I've used a bunch of different patterns, and I still don't get it. I think, I don't know. It might be the inches. Maybe I don't understand how inches work. What are even inches?
I have no idea.
Ask Triz. Triz, what's an inch? Is Triz even still here? She's probably like curled up in a corner by now. Ah, inches!
Oh, don't get into inches.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I shouldn't be trolling the chat like.
This is what happens now, though. You know, we've got
They're trolling me. That's how this is supposed to work.
Yeah, it's turned into one of these interviews where it happens. And Triz now has PTSD.
I'm sorry. So. It's okay. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. I believe in you. You're awesome.
We're sorry, Triz. We're sorry.
Anyway, I don't understand hats.
Yeah, you need metric. Total metric. Metric system is what we need.
At this point, I think I might have muscle memoried myself into bad hats.
See, that might be it, you know, and it's probably a psychological thing.
Yeah, maybe I just can't stop making hats now. Like, literally, I'm like, oh, that's enough hat. And I'm like, wait, no. Hats for cows, you know.
Right, Triz came up with something here. It's 0.78 millimeters or something. 42 gallons. That might be it.
What is even life?
Yeah. Our Eskimo thinks it's 56 potatoes.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
So I think we have figured that out.
Yeah. I'll make it for 56 potatoes next time.
That might work. You never know. It might actually work.
It's a 1 in a million chance.
Oh, 1 in a million chance. Totally.
Yep.
Totally. Oh, but yes, all the fun of hats. All the fun of hats.
Do you have the other hat there?
We should have the other hat. Let me have another look at the other hat. Where is the other hat? Other hat. Where to put the other hat? What was the other hat? Was it the one with the
other Star Wars one?
Oh no, we've got dogs and hats.
Oh yeah, that one's fine. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So apparently, I can make dog-size hats.
Yeah, that works. Dog hats work.
That lady, she wanted me to make so many hats. I made her a Jake the dog hat. I made her a Finn the human hat. I made her those hats for her dogs, because the Jake the dog and the Finn the human one were for her grandson, who was called Finn. So, but yeah, those hats worked. Maybe it was just a better pattern. I don't know. Yeah, they had little ear holes. And the thing I love most about doing work for people is when they send photos of them in use.
Oh.
Because crochet doesn't really come into its own until you have the photo of the person enjoying it. Because I've stared at it for up to a year maybe in some cases, and you can't see past the mistakes, or like the things that you fudged just to get it to work, or the bits at the start where you were trying to learn the pattern and you're like, you just know it's not up there, you know. So when I see things like that after a bit of space, I'm like, yeah, that was good. That was a good time. I made a good one.
I think we all get like that, you know. It's that bit where it's, you know, we're like, oh, I can see that fault. I know that's there. No one else notices it. That's the worst bit. Because even though you know it's there, and you're like, they're still going to see it. They're still going to see it. Yeah. But then all of a sudden they don't see it, and you're still, but it's still in your head. You're like, they're going to find me out. They're going to find me out. Yeah.
But like the small projects like that. So those took me a day, each. I think that's really fast when you're dealing with everything else. Because I think I made them on my work commute, because I was on the train and the bus for maybe an hour each way to work. So yeah, I knocked those out in no time at all, because you've got nothing else to do on the train. And so they're fine. Like, bang, 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 done, out the door. No time to start hating them. But I think there's ones coming up where we're talking 6 months minimum, and you start hating it. you start thinking things like, why did I do this? how crazy am I? And then you're like, time goes on because you can't face working on it anymore. And this is why I don't. Oh, there's the hat. Yeah, that hat. This is why I don't sell on a shop because I take forever to make things because I do work and I do have kids and I do study and I don't commute anymore that much. So yeah. So the R2D2 hat, also a hat that's sized right somehow. I think because of the color changes, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that one, this is another Reddit thing. That was a commission off Reddit. He'd seen the Yoda hat, and he commissioned it and paid me in Dogecoin, which was new at the time. And I was like, yes, I will have your Dogecoin. That's cool, thank you. So that was fun. That was a fun, and apparently now they're worth something. Apparently, a little bit because Elon Musk was talking about it.
Ooh.
The Cyndaquil, I love Cyndaquil. He's up on my board, permanently. So it was Community Day for Cyndaquil coming up, and because they'd given us like 2 months advance notice, I was like, right, fucking get this on. And I went into town because in Edinburgh there's a huge Pokemon Go community that still meets up every community day. Well, obviously not now.
No, well, not now, yeah.
But the organizers, they make Pokemon cards, the picture on the Pokemon cards, like Cyndaquil in front of like Edinburgh landmarks, whatever Pokemon it is, like it's a proper Pokemon card. And they give them out, and they give out badges. My work lanyard is just covered in Pokemon badges from every community day I've been to. It's just such a good crowd. I love it, and they do it in the meadows. So I take the kids, and we just run mad for a whole day. I love Pokemon Go. I haven't played it in a year now.
See, I missed out on getting to the community stuff. I stopped playing just before the community.
Honestly, the community stuff was the only reason I still play. Because as a game, it's boring as shit.
Right.
And that's why I haven't played in a year. Because I don't get to go and see my friend. We don't walk around at lunchtime and raid, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've missed everything for the past year.
Yeah, because I used to kind of hang out like down at Portobello and all these places with all the folk. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it's like the Princess Street Gardens was always good until they started shutting it down all year for whatever rubbish they had going on. It's nice because they had that community day where they released Meltan randomly and told no one that it was going to happen, and it just happened, and everyone's like, oh my god, what's this? And it was like this whole extra hour of weird shit going on, and we're all there together to like talk about it. It was good fun,
Yeah. There we go. After lockdown, we're all going Pokemon Going together. It's Eskimo. Us.
Honestly, Cyndaquil nearly got nicked half a dozen times that day. He was in a bunch of the people's photos and stuff, so that was good fun.
Yeah. Talking about, we were talking about Dogecoin there. Did you keep your Dogecoin?
Oh yeah, I've got all my Dogecoin. Yeah.
It's now worth about 3p instead of 0.3p.
I told Purge like that if I sell it for millions, I'm going to come into stream and gift everyone a tier 3 sub. And earn this lifetime ban. It'll be the best day of my life.
So we gotta keep an eye on that.
I win. I'll win.
Yeah, you'll win. Totally be winning.
Yeah. I made a couple of things for Dogecoin actually. Just because it was stupid and weird, and I loved it. Yeah.
It's one of those weirder ones.
Perch says he'll find ways to ban me in other streams. Oh yeah. Don't worry, I'm probably not gonna earn millions in Dogecoin.
You never know. If it could go crazy depending on what happens with like kind of these Wall Street bets and all this nonsense.
Honestly, it's been a ride.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a quick changeover to the weekly showcase.
Way.
Let's have a look at some other people's work for a little bit.
Oh, thank God.
You can stop talking about yourself for a minute.
I'll just stop talking entirely.
No.
I'll just pause my camera.
No. Let me find the right one. Where is it?
I'll go to the toilet. It's fine.
You were supposed to go before.
I did go.
Okay, I've lost it. There it's there. I knew it was somewhere. Like, keep looking for the right thing.
Tune.
I need a theme tune. Yeah. Right, well, you sing me a theme tune then.
It's the weekly showcase. Show. KKKs. Show. KKKs. Weekly.
Right, can someone clip that now, please? So we'll just play that every week now.
No, God. I'll never come back.
You're on now.
No. All right, I'm going.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, guys. Weekly showcase time. Guys, every week we do a weekly showcase. Let me put this in weekly. Where we invite you to put in some work onto the Discord so that you can show off what you do, so we can go and look at it and go, wow, look how amazing everybody is, because everyone makes amazing stuff. Because everyone does so much amazing stuff. We always like to have a look at it. And every week we take some of it and we have a look at it and we go, wow. Everything is positive, you know, 'cause no matter what level you're at, everyone's making stuff and we like to see. So let's have a look and see what we've got this week. So first up we have from Seskimo this amazing piece of art.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's actual black magic. Don't you think? Like,
It is. Totally.
Just,
She does amazing work.
so pretty, and she's so wistful looking, and she has a nose.
I know, I was going to say an actual nose. And the fact is, she even did this. Look at this, guys. Look at this time lapse. Look at this time lapse.
So pretty. My favorite bit's coming up soon. Like,
Yeah, that's the
so there's
scene.
like all this shading,
Yeah.
and then it's getting darker and darker and darker, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then it's like so dark, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then suddenly, white bits. You're like, oh, wait a minute.
It just pops.
See,
and
that's
then
magic.
that. Absolutely amazing.
I mean, how do you know when you need another layer? I don't know. That's a question for next time she streams.
Yeah.
Oh
Totally.
no, so many clips.
Yep. Exactly.
I wish I'd done a better song now.
Yeah. So, as always, Seskimo has.
Yeah. Never streams again.
Yeah.
No, you can't not stream.
There we go. So, go and give Seskimo a follow.
And she did this while I was streaming my stream, the stream that she
Yeah.
was supposed to be in.
Yeah. So, what was that? Like in 4 hours or something, she created this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's knocked out of the
That's-
park.
That's what happens when she's not actually chatting.
Yeah. And she was chatting in your stream. That was the thing. I heard her a few
Very
times.
briefly, yeah. Occasionally.
Yeah. So, totally. Right.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And then up next we have from 999 Pickle Puss this gorgeous rings. These gorgeous rings, even not this gorgeous rings. These gorgeous rings.
These are lovely. I love these so much. And I have I have the smallest fingers. My wedding ring is a K. And anyone who sizes rings will know that is freaking tiny. So to know that there's people out here who make rings as beautiful as that, and I could get them sized properly, is great. But man, that crushed garnet, right? That crushed garnet is sexy AF. They are so good.
So so amazing.
They're so
that,
shimmery.
The amount of work that's went into that. To first of all create the ring. First of all, because that's been made out of copper. So to get, to make the band itself is, an entire process, and then to actually, put all the crushed garnets into there and get it all perfect.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh,
silver next, Pickle.
I've totally forgot to
some silver.
Turn off the things.
There
we go.
What have you done?
I didn't turn off the channel point redemptions. So, yeah, I will return your points to you. Because we don't do channel points.
Nonsense. Next time, Gadget. Next time.
No. I totally forgot. No, there was something I had to do.
I'm terrible with like my chat timers. Because I've got a bunch of chimers. I've got chimers for when I'm playing with Bracknell to tell people about the multi-stream, and I've got chimers for when I'm playing stream captains, and often I forget which ones are where. And I end up like advertising me playing on multi-stream, and I'm not. I swear I'm not. I'm crafting today.
Fix that. Yeah. Sorry about that. There we go. We're back. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Really great work, Pickle. Love it. And then you also gave us these as well. These lovely fairy houses.
These are so cute.
Brilliant.
And so my youngest has bought himself a polymer clay sort of beginner's kit off Amazon with his Christmas money. So he'd be making like Among Us guys, because Among Us, and I see things like this and I'm like, maybe you should do something cool like this. And he's like, whatever, Mom. He's like, yeah, it's cool, I guess. You're such a heathen. Look, it lights up.
Absolutely.
But,
I love it.
Like the roofs, the roofs look so fine. That's got to be, there's structural stuff in there, surely. Surely. That can't be held up with magic and dreams. Come on.
It totally is. Totally magic.
And if it isn't, don't tell me. I want to believe it's held up with magic and dreams.
Yeah.
That's the only way to live.
Just all the detail and stuff, and like all these lovely flowers. Yeah, just everything that's gone into it.
Are they going to be painted, or are you leaving them? Are they going to be covered in moss? Do you know, I love when, like, people who make I'm going to say something so geeky. Warhammer tables. When people make Warhammer or train set tables, and they've got all those tiny little trees made from pretend moss and stuff.
Get the flock out. God. Get the flock.
Yeah. I love that shit. I can't even begin to imagine trying to do that. She killed a unicorn. Yeah. Oh no, not my animals.
No, they're painted pastel colours with eyeshadows, then glazed.
I can't. My problem is I can't see past my ring light. It's just like in my face.
But they're amazing.
They're so cute.
If you're not following Pickle,
go
give Pickle a follow. It's absolutely amazing. Another amazing crafty streamer. There's so many different things on her stream. She's always doing a different craft.
I know.
Yeah. And then we have this amazing Kingfisher.
I love this so much.
By H.B. Osborne Art, also known as the Unit.
The Unit. Absolute Unit. What a unit. Yeah, this is... I already... Like, my grand watercolours, and she does landscapes. So I already love watercolours anyway. But this is next level. This is so good. It's so pretty. And it looks like a kingfisher too. If I painted it's like Pictionary level. I only paint in Pictionary. You have to guess what it is, and I can't tell you. And then I get offended and cry when you don't know what it is.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Like,
I know.
The stunning colours. So much lovely detail in there. It's proper art here. Another proper artist.
I want to know: is it from a photo or is it from your head? I mean, either way, amazing. But oh boy, that is. Oh, I love all those little speckles on the throat as well. They're just something else.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's just
So
like
pretty.
just the use of just like proper watercolor strokes and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea how you do watercolors, but just how you make that work to just create that detail is amazing.
I tell you what, the best painting I ever did was a paint by numbers.
Choose the photo ref can do that from memory.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely go and give the unit a follow. She does amazing art. She does digital art. She does Photoshop. She does so many different crazy things artistic wise.
I'll need to like go and see her now.
Yeah,
I don't think
absolutely
I've been over
brilliant.
yet.
So much arty stuff going on over there as well. There we go. So that's this week's weekly show off, guys.
Artists
Thank you.
are just the coolest people.
Yep. So, if you want to be part of the weekly show off, go and join the Discord.
Everyone needs to be part of the weekly show.
There's the link there. Come on over, join in. There's a section there called the weekly show off. Jump on in, post a picture. We'll put you on next week's show where me and the guest will look at them and give you amazing feedback because everyone's making cool stuff. Doesn't matter what level you're at because we want to see everything. You never need to worry. Don't think that your stuff is not good enough because your stuff is good enough. And that's the thing. Genix will dump his in after Drive Showcase. We can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm sad that his coffee one wasn't in there.
Gotta wait for after Drives.
But it was very long. And it upset so many people, I'm sure.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. We don't want to talk about that on stream. I wish I didn't say that now. Oh dear. Oh, let me just arrange myself.
Right. So let's jump back to talking about you, Qukatt.
Oh no.
Don't need to talk about you again. So it's that bit, you said you agreed to come on.
I did, yes. It's my own fault.
So you're totally up for talking about yourself. We're talking about some bags and Pokemon.
I just realised the other Pokemon I did isn't in my box of shame.
Is it not? Is it not?
Because he's in the process of being sewn up, so he's on the desk. Because I tried to do a whole bunch of sewing all at once because I absolutely hate it. So that's more of the bags. I tried some other designs because like the eyeball's fun, but after making, I think I made 9 altogether. I'm bored.
You kind of get sick of making the same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah. So I made the Pokeball bag and ran a Pokeball game. A Pokemon game. And the second Halloween, instead of making more eyeballs, I made a cauldron filled with sweets. Because I had this yarn. This yarn.
Well, here's the story.
If you ever get tempted by fun yarn, just go and slap yourself and walk away. Fun yarn is not fun. This stuff is horrible. This is like hard string with microfiber puffs. And I bought it. So the one time I did a craft fair, because people are like, "Oh, you're so talented. You should totally sell your stuff." Oh. But I was like, okay, so there was a nursery craft fair, so I was like, cool, I'll buy a table and I'll make some stuff. And I bought this yarn in a range of colors, and I made these sort of fun scarves.
These
And
things.
yeah, those fucking scarves. The yarn was so cheap, right? I bought a bulk thing of this yarn, and I made maybe 10 of each scarf. And I was like, even if they sell for £2 each, I'll be up. I'll have made back the money on the table. And none of them, not a single one. Nothing sold that day. Why? Like, people are like, oh, you're so talented. I love it. But then they say things like, oh, I could get that at Asda for cheaper. Oh, my gran could just make one of those. Oh, and and this is how you come to underprice yourself, because you're like, maybe it's my prices, maybe they don't fork over that much money at a craft fair. This is before handy doodads for taking cards. Yeah, I've still got nearly all those scarves. Do you know what?
Oh,
Actually, I used the red ones for a Halloween costume. So my eldest was a floating eyeball one year. He had a totally black suit on. He had a paper mache giant eyeball, and I used that for the gore out the back. It was fantastic.
perfect.
I donated a lot of the leftover puff yarn to the nursery for craft stuff, because they like to, cut it
Yeah,
up
they would
and
love you for that.
put it on. Yeah, all my bits and bobs go to nurseries and playgroups. And the whitey yellow green ones and the pink and blue and yellow one I use as tinsel on my tree sometimes at Christmas, because it's reusable and it's not full of crap. I do have actual tinsel too, but
Yeah,
it's nice, it's cool. But
yeah,
yeah, I've still got all these fucking scarves. If
yeah.
anyone wants a fucking scarf,
That
you're more than welcome to them.
that is a big thing. Like something, and I've seen it
Oh,
happen a few times for craft fairs where,
like, what do you do when
yeah,
you don't sell anything?
it's the worst thing when it's the wrong craft fair for you to sell it,
Yeah.
because
But that's also the thing. Like, after that, I didn't do anymore because that was such a bad
hmm
experience. I've never done them since, and I vowed I'm never going to do one, because I didn't enjoy making a lot for a day. I didn't enjoy spending months making lots of things just to not sell them, and
yeah,
then to have them. I don't have space in my house for this stuff. What do you do with it? Bin it?
yeah,
I don't know. I can't.
it is a tough one,
Yeah.
because it's that bit where you've got to try and, again, like you say, you're trying to, if you're not want to make it all, first of all,
Yeah.
because it's an outlay that you've got to make, and if you don't know that you're going to properly going to make the money back, or especially in under your circumstances where it was that situation where you're going into something that these school ones are never a good place to
I was
sell.
so annoyed because I did it as a favor.
Yeah, because
You know.
it's these ones are usually they're going in thinking, oh, I'm going to spend 50p on this, 50p on that.
But that it wasn't even that. There was tables with like those fucking Scentsy
All
things.
right, all
Like,
right.
£8. People are buying that stuff. How are they not spending £2 on a fun stupid scarf for their rain? Ah,
Uh,
I was so annoyed. I was especially annoyed because people would come up to the table, look at the stuff, be like, "Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, oh, you're really talented," and then walk away, and you're like, "So buy something then, because I'm just never going to do this again." But that's how I moved to commission only. I only
yeah,
ever make things people actually ask for.
yeah. But like you're saying though, but you get a lot. You're getting commission stuff though, aren't you? Yeah,
Occasionally, yeah. I haven't done any in a while because since starting my 9 to 5 job, it's gotten harder.
yeah.
And then I started studying, and And now I've started streaming. I mean, streaming is fine though. I can
Aye.
make stuff on stream.
Yeah.
Like streaming became my way of making sure I did get crafting done.
Yeah. So, and
Because
that's the thing
my-
for you. You don't need to do
Yeah.
commission work. It's not a, it's not a business for you.
No, exactly. It's just for fun, and I really enjoy making the things that people come up with. Like, I'm sure you've got, like, it's easier for you because you just design it and go, and it's done. You like laser it out or whatever, and you can see it right then and there. But with knitting or jewelry making and stuff, you have to spend time to sort of work out, especially if there's no patterns, then and you have to sort of cobble things together.
Yeah.
Or there's a pattern, but it's like ridiculously expensive, and you're like, I'm not paying tenner for a fucking crochet pattern I'm going to use once, you know.
You're going to figure it out. And
Yeah. Well, I've got stories about that coming up.
oh.
But
Oh.
yeah,
Can't wait for that
these
one.
scarves are the bane of my life.
Yeah.
I've still got so many of them.
So what you need to do is do giveaways with them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
cost
Okay.
the postage, you can have them.
It's like,
I think what annoyed me most is it wasn't even a good yarn that I could take apart and use in something else.
yeah. Yeah.
I took one of the blue ones apart. It's in my box of shame. I took a blue one apart for something else, and I never finished it.
But it worked here with the
Yeah, well, that was one that I took apart
yeah.
to do a couple of those bags. I still hated it though.
But it's that bit where you've kind of
It
went,
looked
all right,
cool though. Yeah.
it's got, I can't. It didn't work for this, but it'll work for something else. And it's that bit of ingenuity.
That bag was also a good excuse to try out my brand new crochet hook that someone had sent me, which has an LED light on the inside of it. So you turn it on and you can see what you're doing with fuzzy or black wool. Highly recommend getting one if you're a crocheter and you like that
Fancy.
sort of thing. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I need to actually replace the batteries in it. But I was like, turn it on for ages, going luminous.
See, black magic.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was right. Totally magic. Totally magic.
Yeah.
What's this one? This one's an owl.
This is one of my favorite things
I
I've
love
ever
this.
made. So my friend Anda, she has an obsession for owls. And one day she's like, "Oh, my partner won't let me buy any more owl things because there's so much owl stuff in the flat." And I was like, "You can't complain if I make you something, right?" And she's like, "Well, it can't just be an ornament because you'll go ballistic." I was like, "I know exactly what to do." So I've made her a lapgan, which is like a mini blanket just for sitting at the computer or something. And I found this pattern, and that's a stitch called crocodile stitch.
Mm-hmm.
So you do like a base layer, and then you come and you zigzag back up and down the posts, and it makes like scales. Kind of,
That's really
or feathers.
cool.
Yeah, and I just made it obnoxious colors.
Nothing wrong with
bought
that.
a huge amount of rando colors and just did it. And it survives to this day. Her cats love it because it's very tactile as well.
Aye.
It's such a tactile stitch.
Oh, it definitely.
But,
It's got that look to it.
Yeah.
Have you ever made a dragon with that sort of thing, or?
No. I used real scales for a dragon. The aluminium scales that you can buy from like chainmail vendors.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of them, and I did scale mail gloves, and I
Aye.
did a tail as well. It was for a Halloween costume, and then I ended up not going out that year. Well, it just didn't work out. So this is why I think when Feathered Phoenix was on, I was asking her about if she did tail middles, because my tail is obviously just a skin, and I wanted to try and get a sort of mechanical tail middle or something so it could flick around. If she's ever listening or watching this VOD, get on it.
Well, I'm sure she will be at some point. She will be
So
at some point. Because that would be amazing.
That would be good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See
Start
with
teaching
that.
him to crochet the moment he asks.
Yeah. That's Zornov's asking, when are you going to start teaching me to crochet?
The moment you ask.
Yeah, I need to look it out. I need to look out the stuff at some point. It's on my list of things.
Next laser learn. I'm free all next week.
Yeah, between you and Michi. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be totally being able to get past.
When's Michi on? Seriously.
Well, yeah.
Need more fiber artists. It's all been wooden.
Excuse me. I'm working my way around all the different people.
Yeah, I understand. This is only number 9.
Yeah, even though it says number 8. Totally forget to change the number.
I've graduated. Got up a level.
No, Zorna's got another question.
Oh no, it's Zorna. What is it? Hit me.
Yeah, we're waiting now. We're sitting here with bated breath now, waiting on this question.
He's gonna ask it, and I'll still be going like, "Tell me your question." Maybe he's typing for ages. Oh no. But yeah. So despite cats and everything, this one's still going strong.
Nice.
I'm sure.
Nice.
I'm sure her partner is rolled his eyes so far back that he detached his retinas when that came into the house. But I've since soothed his annoyances. I've bought back a lot of favor with him, I think.
Yes, nice.
Where did I get this hat? I made this hat.
Yeah, you'll need to go back in the VOD, so
you need to go and rewind.
Yeah, we've talked about the hats.
We've been there.
Back in the VOD. Where else were we at? There was another doily here. I missed this doily. I don't know. I can't believe I missed this doily.
This is another boily.
A boily. Yes, it's a boily. Yeah.
This, I love this pattern, and I want to make this pattern again at some point. This yarn was lace weight, so it was 3-ply, I think, which is super thin, and it just came out so nice and wispy.
So what do you mean by ply? Is that how many strands?
How many big strands are in it? Yeah.
Right. Because I was about to go, is it like toilet roll?
Yeah. I think regular yarn is 8, and then Aran weight is 10. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm learning here. I'm learning.
Yeah. But this was 3-ply yarn, so it's like really nice. It's so soft. But this was a commission, and this is not the form that it reached the lady. This is the form that I made it, and then I sent it up to my mother, who had the contact, and the lady said it wasn't big enough. So my mum's like, I'm going to send it back and you can put more rounds on it. And I was like, no, it's finished. No, absolutely not. And I'm not buying more yarn to ruin it. So my mum bought more yarn and ruined it. And made it bigger. But like, it was at a point where if I'd done any more, it would lose definition.
Yeah. And
you'd end up with this, like the ratio of the doily part to the outside would have been off. I had to put my foot down with that, honestly. You know when art is done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was done.
Aye. And
I refused. So that's a point of contention there between me and my mother.
Totally. You this is my piece. I know when I'm done with it.
Yeah, that was it done, and I would happily make that again. I mean, if she wanted it bigger, I could have made it in a bigger yarn.
Yeah.
But she wanted a pram blanket, and that was pram blanket size. So I don't understand. Oh.
No, well,
this is the problem. This is another thing. Like, I prefer to sell to other crafters. Because other crafters, they know the pain, they know the pricing problems, they know how long things take, and how you spill your soul and stuff like that. But fucking the random Brenda off the street, Jesus Christ.
Oh
Go home,
yeah,
Brenda.
yeah. That Brenda. It's always
Oh,
Brenda as well.
Brenda
Always
down
Brenda.
the road, yeah. It's not Karen, it's Brenda.
Aye.
Brenda wants more than she's allowed.
Aye. Yeah, Brenda is the Scottish Karen, isn't it? So
Yeah, Brenda. Wee Brenda.
aye. It's always asking for the managers.
I know.
Aye.
She doesn't even, she just threatens you.
Oh aye. Yeah, while chugging some bucky. Aye.
Aye, yeah. Just throws a bottle of bucky at your head.
Aye.
Maybe she should have gotten a smaller pram. Yeah. Fat baby, maybe.
Baby. No,
Fat.
no.
That reminds me of a song.
Oh, this is chat's getting out of hand again. Chat's getting out of hand.
Like, yeah, let's not look. No chat.
Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah. So we should stop looking at chat. Chat, you're on form tonight, chat. You are on form.
That's because I've been given hassle every week so far. They've turned out for me.
Turned out. Yeah.
But yeah, I really loved this piece.
Oh,
in
it's
general.
it is a beautiful piece. And
That motif is pineapple motif.
Oh, pineapple.
You have to count at this. Like, if you don't count properly at the beginning, you're fucked. That base needs to be perfect for every single pineapple.
Wow.
Or else you end up with lopsided things and weird pinchy parts, and yeah.
Yeah, and how long did something like that take?
I think that only took me about a month because I was at home with just the boys then, and it was just a case of getting them to bed and sitting down and watching a fuckload of Netflix.
Good old Netflix gets you through it.
Because that's a pattern that once you've got your bases done, it just does itself. You just chug around it. You can watch TV and go for it.
There's a bit of muscle memory going once it's...
Yeah. You don't even need to count with that sort of thing. You just do it. Which is why I like pineapple motif. Pay attention at the bottoms and you're fine for the rest of it.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Superb.
Oh, I love that blanket.
We've got this lovely pillow.
Yeah.
Sunflower pillow.
My sunflower pillow. I did that
Beautiful.
last year. Not last year, the year before.
That's all
A
crocheted.
year ago on Christmas. Yeah, so I had to do every single petal individually. It is like a... I got teased endlessly at work because they thought I was making hundreds of lily warmers.
Yep.
So a thing I did the first year I was at work was I made 30 gnomes for Christmas. And I was on a night shift and had little bells and stuff in them. Christmas gnomes. And I put them up on the board and it was Rehome a Gnome. And it was one for everyone in work for Christmas, basically. But what actually happened was I was on my night shift. I put it up with a little note being like, Rehome a Gnome, and it was super cute. And then the other fucking department saw it and was like, oh, I'll take one of those. So there wasn't enough for my own department to get one. So people who were off that day, no luck, chief. So anyway, I was sitting making hundreds of those. And they're like, you doing willy warmers this year? I was like, nah, what? But it was for a Secret Santa, so I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Willy warmers for fucking daffodil cancer, I don't know. Whatever the yellow one is, I guess. Because they all have different colours, you know. If anyone knows what the yellow cancer ribbon is.
Macmillan? Is it?
Macmillan, yeah. We do a lot of Macmillan stuff at work, so so yeah, that was a Secret Santa for one of my supervisors who who is Polish and eats sunflowers over summer, like actual sunflowers, sits and eats all the seeds off them.
It brings in an actual sunflower.
Yeah, an actual sunflower head, and sits and just goes.
Okay.
Yeah, our wee hamster, and so I made him that, and I got him a grow your own sunflower kit,
Amazing.
and it was by far the tamest gift of the year.
Yeah.
Someone else got a butt plug with a tail.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that sounds about right for, the places
This year-
that you work.
this year, the guy who gives butt plugs every year, got a pair of pants, like boxers, printed with the guy who got the sunflower's face all over them. It's amazing. Our gifts to each other are just troll central. It's a very professional workplace. Yeah. But
We'll say the disclaimer in the chat.
I believe his daughter has stolen the cushion. I was really pleased. It took forever. I made all the petals individually, and then you had to place them in a halo and then sew the brown bits on top so it looked right. I think I resewed that thing about 5 times. Horrible. One year he got a cushion and it had the other guy who got the pants face on the cushion, a life-size cushion. A love pillow, if you will. A body sock thing. Oh man, it's good times. I'll talk about that in my stream sometime.
Yeah, totally. It's, if you're not already following, Qukatt,
don't follow
if you want to hear about all these stories
It'll be
in
the
more
worst mistake
detail,
you ever make.
go and give her a follow. You will not miss out.
Aside from all the work you have to do mentally translating what I say into English.
Yeah, and totally follow her and get her. You've passed 200 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've totally passed 200. So now we gotta get past 300, right?
I think aren't we getting marked chords to 1,000 now? Is that not our next thing as a group?
There we go.
Everyone should follow marked chords. Go on, he's nearly at 1,000.
So go and follow Mark Cards as well.
Yeah. He does Muppet voices, like the best Muppet voices.
Totally.
It's uncanny. His
Exactly.
Kermit is better than current Kermit. if that's the kind of thing you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely amazing. An amazing musician.
Normally I watch the Muppet Christmas Carol all through a couple times over Christmas. This year I didn't watch it once. Well, I watched it once for the kids, but all the rest of the time I was in Mark Cord's stream watching him do the Muppet Christmas Carol all the way through, start to finish, all the voices.
Yep.
So good. Amazing.
It's always a good laugh in Mark Card's stream.
He needs to practice his Michael Caine voice, that's all. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's total tactic. Yeah, so dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. This was the next big thing, in capitals. These. So this is a Heidi Bears pattern. This is a bot pattern, and I bought it because a friend at work was having a new baby, and I had somehow painted myself into this corner where I was making stuff for people who are having babies, and it was a terrible mistake because the people at my work are quite young and prime baby having age. So I made this for his wee boy, and it is adored. So the one I made was the dark green one. Absolutely adored. Then I showed the picture to my beauty salon lady, and she was like, I'm having a grandchild, a first grandchild, which is the light colored one up top. And that's the grandchild there.
Absolutely loving it. That kid.
Really like that light mint kind of green color one. That was beautiful. And then the darker one, who I don't even remember who I made that for. Oh, it might have been a someone that other lady knew who saw her one and wanted one. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I've got one in my shame box. So I made four. Well, I made three
Three and a bit.
70% of one, I think. But as with all things, I got so bored. Because all those like flowers are different size shapes, and you have to sew them all together in the right pattern so that they work. And I hate it. I hate sewing so much. If I can crochet something together and not sew it, I will. That is my thing.
So this is a bit like granny squares, except they're like granny hexagons.
They're called African flowers.
All right.
So there's squares, there's hexagons, there's pentagons, there's some that are nonagons. Yeah, and they all just sew together just right to make that. And I bought her Stegosaurus pattern as well. But I'd worn myself out on the Triceratops when I did that, just after I did that. So maybe I'll go back to it later.
Yeah.
But
Glad to see
Heidi
that.
Bears makes all of these things. She makes bulldogs, she makes bears, she makes, and if you look up Zalia, oh, I've forgotten her name. Oh, how embarrassing. Anyway, she makes them. She made a spider. She made a spider one, and it was fantastic. She makes
Absolutely
them as well.
brilliant.
She makes them on stream too. She's such a prolific crocheter on stream. I love her.
Oh, but they're, such amazing work, and like again, like your color choice and all that, especially at that one there. That's so beautiful. Like the kind of the mint. Is that mint green you used?
That's a mint green and a rainbow inside. So the yarn on the inside is actually all one yarn, and it just changes on its own.
Oh wow!
And I surrounded it with cream, I think, or a mintier green maybe, and then
that's amazing.
Yeah,
like
it's actually the same on the dark green one. Is so there's the blue, and the surround is the rainbow yarn. You can see it better there.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Rainbow. Yeah. Yes, so, Zacalia. She's Zakayla. Sorry, she's fantastic. I love her. She's such a dude, as they say. A special prize box. Yeah, maybe. There might be stuff in there that people may want me to finish, and for a while I was considering that as a stream redeem, a high stream redeem. finish something in your damn box, because I'm always adding to it and never making it smaller.
Yeah. So you're also able to do small things. You're not just doing big things. You're doing little tiny stuff. Look at these
tiny
little
stuff
earrings.
is my jam.
Tiny.
So the earrings came about because there's only so many doilies you can do and not get rid of before people start getting angry at how many doilies are in your house. And they come in and they say things like, it's like a granny's house in here. You start living in a nursing home.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
So I thought, it's fine. I'll make doily earrings then. So I made these. It's a motif called the Royal Square, and it's in this teeny tiny thread that's actually, it's like a cream thread with a gold plastic strand in it.
Right.
So they're shiny, which you can't really see when you take a photo, but they're golden and shiny. They're beautiful. I hate the thread though, because the moment the plastic thread snaps, you may as well just burn them. It becomes legit impossible to work with.
Kill it
that
all.
that I think that was a 0.4 millimeter hook, which is so small. That's like trying to crochet with a pin. It's nuts. And it's not worth doing it on stream because you have to have it right up in your face.
It's just like magnifying glass time.
Yeah, and you're like picking away at it. It's like, yeah. If I ever got I plan to buy a document reader, so it'll have the light on top and the camera downwards. And once I do that, I'll maybe be able to do that on stream. But yeah, I love those earrings. I've worn those out several times now. They're always a good one.
It's something totally different, you know.
Yeah.
I've never really seen anyone kind of doing that sort of thing.
Well, I really want to get into the jewellery, so yeah,
definitely something different.
I need to figure out how to, because the only problem with crochet earrings is keeping them like stiff enough to sit nice. Otherwise, they kind of crumple and fold, which is fine. I mean, I did a friend's wedding earrings. They were little tiny conch shells. I gave her them for Christmas, and they sat beautifully, but only because they're like teeny tiny stuffed amigurumi. But yeah, those ones kind of fold over a bit. I have to keep starching them. I need to get like Mod Podge or something.
That's what I was going to suggest. Some like Mod Podge or something along those sort of lines. Yeah.
Spray on starch does not work because of the plastic thread, unfortunately. I tried.
Stick them through a laminator, to do something like that.
My other thought was maybe just like a resin disc behind it, or a plexiglass disc.
Yeah, you could probably just even resin them.
Yeah, just shove them
in. Resin dip.
I've done a few earrings now. I got into tatting, which is a different, an even worse kind of black magic.
Yes.
I haven't figured it out entirely yet. So I do the shuttle tatting, and I've made a couple of earrings with them, and they also sit lovely because it's actually really tight knots. They don't fold over as much.
Yeah, I was introduced to tatting via Lady Frenzy.
And
that just looks like a crazy thing.
Oh, it is. I can do the movements, but I can't do split ring, so I don't.
Yeah.
And I know people who do needle tatting, but they needles look dangerous, and I just know I'm going to end up with one in my foot or my eye, or I'll find it. I'll put on a bra one day, and it'll be like fucking in there. These things, they get in your clothes somehow, and you do yourself a mischief.
Supposedly you need to put them in a new tanning booth if you're using UV resin.
Yeah, you could do me some resin things. I'll post you them, and you can resin them for me. Here they go. I'll make you some. Oh, this hat's fallen in now. Ooh,
it's starting to annoy you.
Yeah. It gets too hot.
Yeah, it's a big hat, so retain the heat.
It does, yeah. It was good over winter though.
It would do. It would keep that heat in. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to get very popular.
Oh, this. I know exactly how long this blanket took me.
Was it too long?
100 hours of actual work. I remember because it was like a lovely round number. I did this the stupid way though.
All right.
This is the day I realized that I should just crochet things together wherever possible.
So was this sewn together after you made each square, was it, or?
No, I crocheted these together.
All right.
And then hid all of the ends. All 999 squares of it.
Ooh.
That was the day I learned that 999 is the answer to what's 27 by 37. And it took 100 hours, so that was that worked out really well.
Yeah.
Just let it go. It's not Elsa. It's not Elsa. It's Ice Princess.
Princess.
Because we don't do Disney. We don't sell Disney in this house.
Yeah.
Disney find out. And you can also her skirt really annoys me in this because you can see where I ran out of the original blue yarn and had to change to another not quite the same blue yarn. Which is how I ended up
called a
putting that
fade.
background
It's
on.
totally called a
Yeah.
fade.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a perler pattern that I found. Hamas perler beads.
All right.
Yeah, I just did that. I was just like, one bead is one square, let's go. And then
wow.
it was fucking massive.
That's a really cool idea.
It drowns a single bed. 27 by 37. Perfect single bed drowning size. Yeah, I raffled this because there was no way I was going to get my money back on that.
100 hours and a whole lot of yarn.
100 hours, 18 balls of yarn. At about £3 a ball, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair whack.
Yeah. And it went to a little girl who was like Elsa obsessed, obviously.
Yep. Oh, well,
So
it went to a good home. So that's always good.
And then the money went to the nursery as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, Ice Princess Senga. Yes, exactly. I don't recommend doing this at all. It's all a single round of a granny square. Each square is a single round of granny square, and then like sewn or crocheted together. I mean, I love the end effect.
Yeah.
It's so good. Her shoulder's a bit weird, but yeah, I loved it at the end, and I loved looking at it, and it's so heavy. So I'm glad that I didn't have to post it anywhere, or else, if I thought posting it's economical, then I would have eBayed it. But, but no, it wasn't. Yeah, blankets, man, heavy as fuck.
Yeah, it looks amazing though. It definitely is an amazing piece.
Remembering the journey though was,
and again, I loved that idea of you kind of using the perler pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make
so
it.
I was because I was trying to find. I wanted something princessy, and I didn't want to pay for a pattern because I knew what I wanted to do with it. And I was like, my kids were making those Hamas bead things at nursery at the time because it's a good dexterity thing if you've got kids just to develop dexterity. And they brought home stuff, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to totally just get a perler bead pattern off because they're everywhere.
Why?
Just look it up and go for it. But I do them out off of cross stitch patterns as well now.
Yeah, because that's something else that you do is cross stitch. You've been doing that.
Oh, that's new. That's new since lockdown.
Yeah.
I've never cross stitched before. But when these blankets, I was doing cross stitch pattern ones as well. But you have to watch out for that sizings. Hoo boy. They work up real big.
Definitely. Yeah.
That was a tiny pattern. I'm sure if Diorama Lama looks at this, he'll be like, yeah, that was a small pixel art.
Totally a small pixel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not only bedspread you did. It's another bedspread.
Which one is it?
The Newcastle.
The Newcastle one. This is the one that got me back in the good books of my friend's partner. He is Newcastle United fan. And this is a cross-stitch pattern that I used. And this is actually corner to corner. So it's a style where you go diagonally back and forth. And you just change colours as you need it. I had to separate all my yarn balls into like bits of balls to not carry yarn all the way across white parts, because through the white you can see black, and it's not ideal. But yeah, that's my Australian king size, like super king size bed right there, and it was over the edges.
It's massive.
It's huge. That's another person I'm glad I didn't have to post to. I just brought it round. He was ecstatic. He was like, "What? You didn't have to make that for me?" And like, dude, you've helped me move 3 times in like the space of 2 years. You need this. Oh, he's such a
Well,
dude, though. Yeah, he deserves it.
how long did that take?
Far too long.
I was going to say that, for something that size and the amount of work you'd have to put into that.
I started that on a New Year's Day night shift. And I think I managed to finish it in time for autumn. And I worked on that a lot.
Right.
There was breaks in it though, because I worked on other stuff. There was a point where I'd run out of a color and I needed to get into town, but I couldn't for a few days. Stuff like that. Yeah. I would have chosen a better writing pattern though, like the united parts, a bit munted.
Yeah.
Also,
Again,
you can see in the shield I didn't learn to count yet.
Oh, well, you weren't doing your maths degree yet. You're just one of these things.
I was studying at the same time as I was doing this. I was crocheting this while I was studying. That was horrendous. But yeah, it looks fantastic there in that picture. But again, you remember the pain.
Oh, you always remember the pain. It's what lives on.
But I'm hoping that one outlasts me.
It probably will. That's the thing, like, because like you'll be having that for forever somewhere.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
That better be in the fucking coffin with him, I swear.
We're going to making actual garments as well.
Yes.
You're like seamstress, and in a way, you're the crochet seamstress.
I'm going to tell you a secret. That top's in my shame box.
It's in your shame box.
It's in my shame box.
Why is it in your shame box?
I need to fix a sleeve
Oh.
end, and I haven't done it yet.
No.
Yeah. Right. So we'll start with the shawl. The shawl came about. Someone gifted me yarn, and it is the most beautiful yarn I've ever seen. It's called, what's it called? It's Cascades painted alpaca or something, and it is 2-ply. So it is, and it's alpaca. So if it rubs against itself slightly, that's it. It's felted to itself, and you have to cut it apart. So and I did the stupidest thing imaginable, where I because it comes in a big long hank, and what you do with a hank is you unwind it and you wind it into a ball before you use it. And I did not do that because I had never used a hank before and I didn't know how they worked. And I've cut so many knots out of that while I was making it. But it's so hard to see the color there. It's like this gorgeous. The color is called flotsam, and it's like this beautiful green, and in it is oranges and reds. And when you make them up, they come together somehow. And oh wow! And there's like some really moody blues and stuff in there as well. And it's just the most beautiful thing. And I have another one of it. I used the whole hank for this shawl, and it was cobweb thin. It drapes amazingly, and a lady who lives in Latvia bought that for me for 40 quid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's worth twice that, I think. I was happy to have it go to someone who really, really liked it. And I didn't plan to sell it until she stopped. and wanted it. So there you go.
It's like, I want that.
Yeah, like that. Are you going to sell it? And I was like, well, okay. Yeah, it's lovely. And it's not too big and it's not too small. And
Yeah.
it's just it, and it drapes over the shoulders.
You know,
I have a few pictures of me wearing it as well before I sent it. So I was like, oh, it's so nice. So nice.
Yeah.
The top.
Oh, the top. Tell us about this top. Tell us.
Many years ago, I burst my lung and I had an extended hospital stay of about a week. A week that they told me was going to be a few hours in the beginning. They're like, it's fine, you'll be here a few hours while your lung reinflates and you'll go home. No, I got a week of x-rays and a CT scan, which was my first one. And if you've never had one before, it's weird.
Oh, yes.
So weird. Fun though. Well, I'm a medical geek apparently, so I love that stuff. I would go through all of the experiences. But anyway, when I was trapped in hospital, stuck to the wall with a tube from here all the way out into a tub of water. So every time I breathed out, it bubbled, and then that was plugged into the vacuum suction on the wall because I was going too slowly. And in between them dragging in teams of student doctors to be like, so how did this happen? What did you do? And I'm like, I don't know. It's called a spontaneous pneumothorax, which means it just fucking happens. You tell me. You're the doctors. But apparently I'm a medical mystery for them. So they bring all the students around. You know, when you have something weird that you're like, students need to see this.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. So
you're a medical marvel.
Yeah. They're like, it happens a lot, but not usually in women or young women or short young women. It's usually young, tall guys that get it. But I made this while I was in hospital. And that's my long story cut short. I made this while I was in hospital.
So this is your lung
this is my lung
jumper.
I looked up a random pattern online and I made it. And I didn't even have a pattern. I had 2 random picture charts. It was on a Russian site. 2 random picture charts, one of the flowers and one of the zigzaggy bottom bits. And they're like, shove these together and you have a top, comrade. And I was like, sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah, and it worked. It totally worked. Apart from that sleeve that you still need to fix.
I just need to fix the sleeve, and I mean, that's probably what I'll do next. I'll dig out the yarn, I'll dig out the shame, and I'll finish the sleeve, and that's all I need to wear because it fits lovely.
Brilliant.
That was 7 years ago.
Is your lung all right now, though?
Oh, yeah. It does this thing sometimes in the dark of night where I feel it bubbling, and I don't know if it's real.
I was just craving that Hoover.
Yeah, it's such a weird feeling having your lung bubble.
Yeah,
it's not pleasant.
Does not sound fun.
Yeah.
Not fun.
I mean, I had good drugs.
As you do. You totally
I had some bad drugs too, but the good drugs made up for it.
Yeah. So what's this?
This is a blanket that I made for a baby. I call it Jack's blanket because the baby was called Jack.
Right. Makes sense.
Actually,
totally makes sense.
I think the pattern's actually called a meringue blanket pattern.
Right. So, I can kind of get that, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a pain in the arse.
Why was that?
So the original pattern is 1 square and you just make it till it's big enough.
Mm-hmm.
But around the point that you see there, I got bored of making it.
This is a pattern for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I am so easily bored. Oh man. So every round has a fan that sticks out, and on that fan it's got a thing called picots. So you make a chain and then you join it back to yourself so it makes a little loopy bobble thing. And each fan had like 12 picots on it. And when you get to a point where you're like doing fucking 100 picots a side you're like, no, I cannot live with this. I don't want to be picoing for a whole night and still not be around the square for as big as it needs to be. So I was like, I'm gonna cut it short, and I was like, do you know what? I've enjoyed this pattern though, so I made another one, and I was like, do you know what? I'll just make 6 squares and put it together. And then I thought after 3, I was like, I'm getting bored of white, so I got this green, and the bad thing about these pictures is that yarn actually has a shimmery thread through it as well. It's like a satin thread wound into it. So both those yarns shimmer when they move. They're gorgeous. And I sent that to America. That cost a bomb.
Oh.
And sewing those panels together as well, absolute nightmare. I should have crocheted them together. That was a person I met on Reddit who took a shine to. I don't talk to her anymore because she didn't send me a picture back, and
Oh
then she disappeared.
no.
I know she got it. That's about it.
Oh.
But what a beautiful blanket, and
Yeah.
again, so tactile.
Aye.
There's
Oh.
just things you like to rub your hands over, and that's one of them. You're like, ooh, it's bobbly and it sticks out. Love it.
Oh.
The meringue blanket.
We'll go back to you kind of
Meringue.
making
Yes.
making dresses, and
This is the one.
that's the one. The one.
This one. I have a very good friend in, and she has to be a very good friend for this. I have a very good friend in Michigan who had a baby, who was having a baby, and she'd had the baby by the time I actually finished this dress. This took me the full 9 months to get this done and out to her. And this is all a bamboo thread, and it was quite hard wearing and really nice. And I made this from a picture. I had no pattern for this thing.
Right.
I was zooming in, I was counting, I was making marks on the picture. I worked this shit out. Oh, lordy.
You got it. You got
I got
it.
it.
It's
I got
absolutely
it.
stunning for the fact that you had no pattern.
Yeah.
You just
I was
worked
so
it out.
proud of this. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It turned out massive though. It was not for a baby, it was for like a toddler. Which is just as well, because the baby was like getting there by the time I managed to get it out to her.
Exactly. So,
Ooh.
worked out perfect then.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But so I'd made the top first. I made the band around the middle, then made the top in like a piece that came round, and then I started this doily pattern for the skirt.
Yeah.
And then I sewed on a ribbon because I thought it just needs something to break up the and something to be able to tie it on and make a nice bow at the back. So there's quite a lot of ribbon on there as well.
Yeah, you always need a wee bow or something, don't you?
Yeah. Absolutely, especially in pink.
Yeah.
But she's the only person I would expend that much effort on, because she also she doesn't anymore. She like really buggered up her hand, but she crochets a lot, and she's sent me some fantastic things back as well.
Yeah. That's the thing, when you're doing that sort of exchange, it's definitely worth it. Especially when like if she's sending you something crocheted, the amount of work she's put in. And you're like, I know the work that
She sent me gorgeous yarns. I got her into making boilies.
Hey, boilies! See, you've taken it on.
She sent me. She makes ornaments just ornaments, and they're made of sequins. They're like a ball, like a polystyrene ball with sequins and pins, and they're absolutely amazing. So amazing. Yeah.
So it's a fair trade sort of situation. Because again, it is that bit where both of you know the value of your work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's such a good friend too, even though she keeps wanting me to move to Michigan, and I'm like, no.
Why?
I know
Why?
the houses are cheap, but
Why would you not move to Michigan?
I keep saying, you move here. Scotland's way better.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
There's no guns here. Less guns here. There's no guns in town here.
And Sesamo says, "Don't move." She just found you.
Yeah, I can't move. I bought a house now.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're stuck here now.
Yeah.
Mortgages, all that
For
sort
a
of
while,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're on Scottish Twitch now as well. So.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I'll always be on Scottish Twitch, no matter where I am.
Totally.
Twitch for life.
Yeah. We've claimed you. One of us.
I was never not one of yous.
Aye.
You have to do it properly. One of us.
Sorry, one of us. Aye. So, remember, I'm posh, so.
No excuse.
Yeah, I didn't come from up north.
So, yeah.
No, let's.
From a picture.
What?
I was just so proud of it from a picture.
Yeah, totally.
And I've done it a few times since then. It's so much fun to work things out. The reverse engineering part is totally my jam.
Mm-hmm. So, you making a go of it. And what other sort of things have you reverse engineered?
I've done some. I'm doing an amigurumi right now that I'm reverse engineering from a picture. But it's a secret.
What's the secret? Ooh.
Yeah, it's a secret project.
Will we find out about it at some point?
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Superb.
Soon.
Right, let us have a look at this. You sent me a lot of photos for this one.
I'm so sorry.
No, this is a good one. I really like this because we got to see it for this. We get to see a lot of progress for this one piece. So this is a dress that you were making. We'll show you the final piece at the end.
Yeah.
But it's a dress.
Yeah.
So but the fact that it's starting off like this.
This one was my second longest project after that pink dress. I had a pattern for this because I got commissioned off Reddit. The guy was initially looking for anyone who can make it, and I was like, this looks interesting. I was like, if you want, we can talk about it. And apparently I was the only person who replied, so yay, default winner. He's like, I need this dress for my girlfriend. And I was like, awesome, you need to take all the measurements because it's not for me, it's for someone else. And so I bought the pattern and I started off by making all of those tiny squares because I was like, these are easy, I can make those real quick. And I got bored at some point and started making the circles as well. And then I realized I was doing it the stupid way and I should have made of all the squares and then done like the circles up to nearly the last row because I had to pick out all of that bumpy chain parts at the end to sew it onto the other parts. So anyway, I made so many, and apparently I ate a lot of chocolate while I did that.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention that, the crafters
that was when those
thing.
first came out. Yeah.
Like chocolate is, a thing.
Chocolate and Netflix.
Chocolate and Netflix,
Can't eat too much chocolate when you crochet though, because you have to wash your hands, especially with white. This is another bamboo yarn.
True.
I love the bamboo yarn.
Yeah, was Dairy Milk Marvelous Creations at that?
Yeah, I think it was the jelly beans and popping candy one.
Yeah, a cookie nut crunch.
I didn't like that one as much. We bought all three that came out.
You bought all
the cola bottle one as well.
I didn't realise there was a cola bottle one.
Yeah, there was. I don't think it did well, so they didn't make any.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have thought a cola bottle one would have worked. Yeah. But yeah, again, as you said, you got bored, which is a running theme for you.
Yeah. I can't do the same thing more than maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I always have to. I mean, because I'm not doing it for. I'm doing it for me, and I don't want to do the same thing for me over and over and over again. I don't know. Sure. Like, do you not get really bored making the same laser cut things? You know, oh,
Yes.
another sign.
Well, when
Another
it comes to
stale
things like
sign.
signs, no, because like all them
Yeah,
are
because it's your
usually
bread
made.
and butter.
Well, a lot of that is like different.
Yeah.
But like if I'm making like a batch of kind of generic stuff that I'm selling on Etsy,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
like if I've got
Well,
to
that's-
refresh all that, then yeah, does get
It gets really boring.
really boring because you're just like cut it out, paint it up,
Yeah.
stick backs on it.
Yeah.
But it kind of has to be done.
Yeah. But see, I don't
Yeah.
have to, and that's why I'm just like, let's go wherever the whim takes me.
Yeah.
The
So
whims
then,
of change.
from there, it then
Yeah.
starts getting transformed.
Yeah. So this is me starting to sew it together, like on this side one, this side, this side one, the one on the far that side, was
one.
so it's all one
Yeah.
block piece, and then it goes round, and you sew it together at the back, and then you put the arms on and the edging, which is the top one up there, and I really like that edging. I haven't done that since,
It's
but
very
it's
cool, that edging.
It's really nice, and
That's not bullying edging. That's not bullying then.
no, they're little like offset clusters. So you do bumps all the way around, and then when you go, you kind of make these like clusters of 3 stitches together. But when you do the next one, it kind of joins to the last one. If that makes sense.
It's black magic. That's
Yeah.
all I need to know.
Crochet people
Yeah.
know what I mean. They'll probably be able to look at that and go, "Yeah, I know exactly how that."
You twiddle your stick to say your magic words, and it happens.
Yeah. A bippity boppity boot it.
Yep, there you go.
Place. Yeah, and then there's the dress. That's the dress there, finished on the floor.
Yeah.
And I thought it doesn't really look that good on the floor.
Yeah. So let's. And
I don't have a dress form. So there's me wearing it. That's actually the second picture of me wearing it, because the first one, you could see my pants. I had like a color thing on underneath, so you could see through the holes, but you could see my pants so clearly, and I was like, I can't send that to the guy. So I went and I got this white sort of underdress slip that I had, and yeah, you can still see my pants, but that's fine. I don't own boring pants, so. But that dress, even though it's not for me, I think it fit me quite well.
It's absolutely amazing.
Like I can't obviously share some of the pictures I got back from the lassie, but she was so pleased with it. She looks fantastic in it, and that dress made me so much money.
As it should do.
Yeah, but I so much enjoyed that. I love, and that's my top rated post on Reddit. Is that picture and that stupid dress. Which I got so much flack for. Some guy dug it up like 2 years later and like, ew, why is the top post in crochet all people like women's bodies? And like it just happens that mine was one of them. And I was like, that dress is. He was like, it doesn't even fit her right. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't for me, mate. I was just wearing it to show that it's a dress. It's not my dress, and I wasn't dolled up and nothing like that.
Some folk.
Jesus.
Some folk. You can't win with some folk, can you?
I mean, it's Reddit.
Aye.
You expect shit like that on Reddit.
It's a bit like going to just chatting on Twitch.
Yeah, right. Tits everywhere.
And trolls and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tit trolls.
Can.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
But,
I didn't even brush my hair for that picture. Like, I just tied it up.
But, the powder work that you put into that, the detail, the design of it, it's just stunning.
Ages. And I can't give myself any credit for the design because I bought the pattern, but it's such a good pattern, and if anyone wants it, I'll give you the link because it's so good, and it was a really easy one to follow. Yeah, you too can be a dress person.
Yeah. But still, it's it may be easy to follow, but it takes skill to be able to do that.
Yeah. I like doing that sort of thing because I think that's the fastest way to learn your skills is being challenged and having to look the stuff up and finding out if there's, maybe there's a better way to do this and go and searching it out. And that's something that I've noticed when you talk to like your woodworkers and stuff is they're like, oh yeah, and then I go and I visit this guy's YouTube and suddenly this makes sense and you're like, oh, why haven't I been doing that all the time? It's the same with crochet and knitting and sewing and stuff. And you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's like, and if you don't understand it, there's always someone else who explains things in a different way.
Exactly.
There's always another way of doing it if you don't know.
It's the classic. There's no one right way.
Yeah. So people, like I teach occasionally. People. I try not to teach from the very beginning because they have beginners have this fixation on how you hold your hook and how you hold the yarn. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. If it's comfortable for you and it works, that's fine. Like I've got tricks for making it easier. I've got tricks for controlling like your tension, like how loose or tight your yarn is as you use it, but none of that matters. It's not essential. It's just a thing, an extra thing that you can do, and there's other ways of doing it.
Yeah, because I think that's what really got me was that whole kind of how to actually hold this when I was trying to do it. I'm like, what the? This is just wrong. It feels weird,
Yeah. So like I use mine like a pencil.
Yeah.
Like I mine like a pencil. I know people who use theirs like chopsticks, which is weird because I use my chopsticks like a pencil. Like one of my chopsticks is held like a pencil. But my mum, as a left-handed knitter, I cannot watch her crochet. It's so ham-handed.
Okay. Well, I mentioned that I'm left-handed.
She holds it she holds it like as a knitter. She's holding it like a fist, and she's like, it looks like you're trying to stab a lobster's insides or something. It's she's like getting the last bit of meat out of the lobster. You're like, can you not? Please don't do that in front of me. God forbid she watches this.
Well, I'd like to mention that I just looked at my phone and I didn't realise that my father has been watching the stream.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about when I said that I sound like my father, I didn't notice I got a message when he said, "What do you mean you sound like me? I talk proper."
He talks proper. He speaks right.
I'm like, thank you, Father.
Dear. I'm sorry for getting you in trouble. I'm a terrible influence. Oh, the worst.
Didn't realise that my father has been watching. Hello, Father. If you're still about. Luckily, he hasn't figured out how to sign up to Twitch.
He's gone off in a huff. Oh no.
But yes.
I'm a terrible influence.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
No.
So, so your box of shame. What have you got in there? Give us some examples.
So the first thing isn't actually shame. It's just my current work in progress, and it's a cross stitch, which people always see a part of it on stream when I'm working on it, but you never really get to like see how actually big it is. The whole thing,
that's absolutely massive.
Huge. Yeah. So, that's the other thing. I have eyes bigger than my stomach in terms of crafting. I'll always take on something that I'm like, oh, this looks easy, and it's not. And I end up doing it for ages. So.
That is looking amazing. Can you hold it up again so everyone can see it?
I just... Oh, God, I have to unroll it now. I
know. Just so everyone can see that, the sheer amount of work that's going into that.
Yeah. And this is easy. There's no French knots. There's no back stitching. This is just be able to count the black lines and then fill the parts in the colour. Because
this is more of a newer thing for you going out in the cross stitch world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a nice, easy, relaxing thing compared to the crochet, or?
such and such. It's making a mistake in cross stitch is far much more worse than making a mistake in crochet. Because
All
in
right.
making a mistake in crochet, I can pick it out. I just take the hook out and I go, and it's out. It's done, and I can go back. If I make a mistake that I have to go back too much, I know how structurally it works, so I can just fudge it into position so that you don't. And I know deep in my bones, only I can see it because I did it and I've noticed it. And no one else will ever see that I've made a mistake. In cross stitch, if one thing is wrong, none of it lines up. And then it's all wrong. And then picking it out is a pain in the arse. And if you've done it and if you've done it a while ago, sometimes then your thread has dyed the fabric slightly into the color, or it's all knotted up and you can't get it out. And
The
So,
tension.
yeah.
The tension.
you need to like actually pay attention. What else? What else?
What else? Let's
I've
have a
got
look
this-
at some of these
I've got-
things.
I've got my wee baggie here for keeping things together.
Uh-huh.
I've got petals in here, loads
Petals.
of petals, rose petals.
What were these for?
A rose
All right.
for Valentine's Day last year.
So, are they going to
it's
be ready
all-
for this Valentine's Day?
Nope. Nope. Nope.
They're going to be ready for Valentine's Day next year?
Nope.
Nope. Are they ever going to be ready?
Who knows? It's got this like jeweler's wire in it. I don't know if you can like
Yep.
see that. And that's where I've given up, is putting the jeweler's wire in the edges to keep the petals stiff. Yeah, nah. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
What else? What else is in the bag of fun?
So,
Oh.
the box of shame. This is just where things just go here to die, or are they going here
Yeah.
for potentially getting redone, finished at some point?
Initially, I was like, let's collect all my works and projects up together so they're all in one place so I can find them when I need them to be done and on for moving and stuff, so they're not in all different bags everywhere. And then it became the box of shame, and I never looked at it again. This is the dinosaur that is in progress. So I've done his feet. His feet are on. He just needs his head, and this is the Stegosaurus one. So really, I should finish it because I haven't done one yet.
It'd be easy
But
enough to do.
I gave up. I gave up at some point. So that baby is now 3 years old.
And they'll probably appreciate a dinosaur like that much better at
Yeah.
3.
Maybe, yeah. This bag, this isn't a bag because I actually work on it sometimes. This bag is a skirt that's using the same pattern as that dress, that pink dress.
Ah.
So I was like, I'm going to make a full-length skirt for me with just this motif all the way down. But then one day, the only reason I stopped was one day the yarn got discontinued and I ran out.
Oh.
So there was 2 years where I couldn't get that yarn, and now it's back and I bought some. So I need to get back to that.
Is this a common thing with yarn?
It can be. One thing that they say you should absolutely always do is buy enough yarn in one dye lot, which we saw in the Elsa blanket, where I bought the same yarn in the same color, but the dye lot was different, so the color is different. So when you buy yarn, buy it all at once, because you'll regret it and you have to buy more. This one is so close to finished. This is me, so close to finished.
You're
This is
not going to finish it then? Just finish it.
Yeah. I worry that I finish it and I'll have nowhere to put it because I don't actually like it anymore. Yeah, I saw this picture for a cardigan and I was like, oh, this is lovely. So I went to do it from the picture. And it's this beautifully long cardigan. It's got like a uneven kind of edge like that. See, I don't know if you can see that because I can't see past. So it's got an uneven edge at the bottom, and it comes up to the waist, and then it's a cardigan on top with arms. And at some point, I just hated it, so I put it away.
Even though you hate it, someone might like it. You could get rid of it to somebody.
That involves advertising and setting a price. And...
See, Mr. Frightful says it's very technical, a dream coat. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. It's got very Joseph to it.
I thought so when I put this one down because I hated it. I was like, maybe it's the color, and I started another one in a different color. No, I still hate it. Wow. So when I mean about discontinued yarn, this is another discontinued yarn one, which is a shame because I was so ready to finish this blanket. The yarn's gorgeous and it's really thick, and I was making these like loops, and you then crochet them together along the surface of it.
They're very cool.
Yeah, but I can't get the yarn anymore, so I don't know what to do with it. It's just going to sit in the box. Maybe one day they'll bring it back.
Could you not just make that a smaller kind of thing?
No, because this is all the yarn that I have, and it's not enough. I should have bought twice as much. But it's so thick. It's big and thick. So, like you can't really do anything else with it. It's such a shame. I loved it.
See, now I'm just imagining that your box of shame there is just like a mountain. Yeah.
No, it's actually quite well organized. I did this top. This is crazy. This is sock yarn my mum hated, so she sent it to me, and I was like, I don't know what to do with that, so I made a top. It's like it's supposed to be a big baggy slouchy top, so it'll join. Wait, it'll join there and here, and it'll have a big slouchy thing and big long arms, and it's got all these big sort of fishnetty holes in it. But yeah, that's another one.
We've got a question here from Delbrook Make Mistakes. What craft do you not know currently that you want to learn / participate in?
Oh, I want to do the resin stuff. That stuff's cool.
Getting on resin.
Yeah, or silversmithing as well. That would be
definitely.
There's a silversmither I found. She's a New Zealander in London. I cannot remember her name right now.
Crackle.
Is it Crackle? Yeah, I love her. I've been there maybe twice since I found her. So
yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
stuff that she's making. Crackle 33, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there's another one as well who did stuff. No, I can't remember. There's a couple. I love the silversmithing. Oh man, what else? My husband bought stuff for, I think, bone carving. I wouldn't want to do that. I want him to do that though, because that sounds awesome. But yeah, that's some of my box of shame. There's actually, do you know what? There's a sewing project in here.
Mm-hmm.
This was a stupid thing. I used to have a sewing machine before I got rid of it because it kept throwing yarn out the back, and I couldn't fix it, and I didn't know anyone who could fix. Like my grand's a seamstress, but she was not available at the time. But yeah, this is a pattern, and it's actually a slouchy neck dress that I was like, maybe I'll hand sew it. Maybe I'll hand sew it at some point because I can hand sew. Yeah, scrimshaw.
Of course.
Yeah, but
right.
nah.
Okay.
And that's some of it.
Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to go into the most difficult of questions.
Oh.
The most difficult of questions that hopefully you've had a good think about.
I might have. What
is your favourite DOOTNOOT?
Well, Laser, I think it might be the Krispy Kreme.
Oh, you've even brought one with you.
The lemon-filled sherbet Valentine's Krispy Kreme that they're doing at the moment, because my favourite one before that was the Krispy Kreme lemon meringue. You know, the lemon meringue one. It had all the lemon inside. But they stopped doing it.
Oh,
So now I need a new favourite.
yeah. The the first one to actually have their favourite with them. So you get the clap, you get the clap.
Hopefully my donut's not got the clap. That would be embarrassing.
That would be very much embarrassing. Totally. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right. And the final question that we always ask all our guests is what? What? No, I'm totally going off script now. Could you give us some amazing streamers that you would like to recommend for the people in the chat to go and check out?
I have all the streamers. I have the best streamers. There's no streamers like them. I'm not like everyone here should follow everyone else. That's just like the thing.
Totally.
But if you haven't been to see Sui Lafille, she's an American in France, and she does sewing in medieval style. So she sews like Pokemon in that old sort of 1066, big long sewing embroidery thing style. They're amazing. She's done like Monty Python and all sorts. So good. She's such a good streamer.
And listen, you say her name correctly because I always called her Sissy Phil.
Yeah, Sui Lafille.
Yeah.
And she's always on at my time in the mornings because she's in France. So that's always a good one. I have to mention my American crochet crew though, which is Crafts by VDB. I can never get those letters in the right thing. See, VBD maybe. Vicky, she is lovely. And then there's Nellie Lynn's as well. And Emriel, who probably some of you guys know from, if you've come to my stream, you'll see them around. But yeah, they're my gals. And Soft Goth Love is the other one. But a painter that I like is I'll just let you get through those.
Yeah. Slow it down a bit.
Slow down.
Slow it down.
I'll eat my donut.
Yeah. We got everyone now. We're caught up. We're caught up. All these amazing people. Go and follow them, people.
Yeah.
Go and follow them all.
My craft. I need to fit everyone in. Is all. my crafty girl gang there.
Yeah.
Aside from all the obvious people who are already always followed. Florist Fawn is someone that I've found recently. She does these amazing botanical illustrations and paintings. Wow. Oh my goodness, right. And we talk about the plants as well. Highly recommended. She's lovely. So much fun. What else? Oh, and Craggle Rock, my man. Which maybe Mr. Frightful remembers. Craggle Rock. He's an he does like really cartoony, like comic book illustrations. He does he's recently on, but I don't know if he's kept it up recently. But he does them on stream. He actually does work on stream, Seskimo. You maybe should go along and visit him. But like I know him from Aberdeen way back, so yeah, 100% go and see him. He does things like he'll draw your D&D characters and stuff, and he'll do custom character sheets and things. So cool. He's a good lad. He's great.
So all these amazing people that you should definitely be going to check out, because these are all cool people that don't always get shouted out on many people's streams. So
yeah,
you know.
I thought I'd try and fit people in who hadn't been mentioned yet, because you all don't want to hear me going, yeah, I love Seskimo, go and follow Seskimo, because you already follow her, you already love her. But everyone should follow these other ones as well.
Yep, definitely. And also follow Seskimo and everyone else in stream.
I saw Anna duck in there, and you should totally follow her too. She's amazing.
But yeah, It's absolutely amazing. I'm loving this. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Qukatt.
Yeah.
You've been an
I can't believe how
amazing,
fast
amazing
the time
guest.
goes. Crazy how fast that time goes.
Yeah, I know. It's already past midnight.
I know.
And you're like, oh, we're never going to talk
Oh
for
no, I'm
all
going
this
to turn
time.
into a pumpkin.
Yeah, totally pumpkin. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. So let us.
We didn't even talk about Bruce.
I know we didn't even get a chance to talk about Bruce. We were too busy talking about making and stuff.
Too busy talking about food. That's
We're
that.
too busy talking about food.
Yeah,
We were totally too busy talking about food.
that's all
Which
right.
is,
Bruce's food as well.
Bruce's food. No, he's not.
He is. We cook him every time we kill him.
Stop cooking him. It's poor Bruce. They so need the mod. Because anyone wonder who Bruce is? Qukatt. Calling Eskimo. I don't know why.
And we're so much alike.
I know.
It's the accent.
Exactly. Totally the accent.
Biker. Grove.
Okay, you broke me now. You broke me.
I'm sorry.
Totally broke me.
No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah. Qukatt plays Raft on her stream.
I do.
And Bruce the
Tuesday
Shark.
nights. Go follow Bracknell Exile as well, because he streams on Sunday nights. He streams Kerbal Space Program, and it is the chillest stream, and it's so funny.
Can you spell that?
I don't know. Spell it how it sounds. Bracknell Exile.
Exile.
Mhm. BRACKN.
Is that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
there we go. Right, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm so bad at spelling people's names.
Yeah. He's a good lad,
Yeah.
and he's been keeping me sane with the and keeping me on Twitch too, because there's been weeks where I've just the gaming stream's the only stream I've done that week, and I've only done it because he's like, right, we go in gaming, and I'm like, and he's like, come on, and we're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then you have so much fun, and he tolerates my shit, so.
And you've been having fun playing Raft with Gen X and Mark Cords and
Mark
other
Cords,
people.
Yeah, Cisco when she can get in.
Yeah.
And hopefully you soon.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Another game that I might have to play.
It's so much. It's worth every penny, I thought. Plus it's mental.
Oh, it does look like fun.
It is. It's good. I think I was trying to convince someone else to come along this week. I forget names. Don't worry if I forget your name, because I'm so bad at names. If I haven't looked at your name recently, I'm not going to remember it. Name badges and chat are the best things ever.
Totally.
That's how I live on name badges.
Kitten.
Kitten, yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully Kitten comes and plays next week.
Superb.
We
All
need
right,
more ladies
guys.
on the raft.
So, you're not, we're gonna raid out now. We're gonna go and raid out. We're gonna go and raid Creative Ventures, aka Momo.
Yeah, Momo.
We're gonna go see Momo.
No one gets eaten by Bruce.
Yeah, no one gets eaten by Bruce.
No one ever dies.
Yeah, because she is currently doing some cool art alongside Insane Cerebello, doing a co-op stream today. So it's going to be quite a fun one to go and say hello to. So let us get the raid going.
Man, this is a good donut.
It looks like a good donut, that's for sure. But again, thank you, Qukatt. Guys, if you're not already following Qukatt, why are you
Don't
not?
follow me.
Go and follow her. Just keep saying not to, but you totally need to. Here's the raid command. There's raid command. We're going to jump over.
I'll make you regret it.
You'll never regret it. Our streams are amazing. They're always a laugh. It's very Scottish. So
No, actually, do come and follow me, because I've got to start playing games soon. We're going to make our own games. None of this Jackbox, none of this rubbish. If you want to win giveaways, you're going to have to play the games. Yeah. It's going to be like Battle Royale.
Oh, Battle Royale. That's going to be crazy.
No, it's going to be like... I think my most popular game on Reddit was the Family Feud one. Family Fortunes,
Right. Okay, guys. So again, thank you again, Qukatt. And we're going to hit this button here. And we're going to go hit the raid button in 5, in 4, in 3. Everyone have a great day. Great night. And we'll see you all later. 2, 1. We're raiding. Bye.